Belong.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B League and A Johnny. As y'all know, we go live noon Eastern Time every Sunday to talk basketball and the GOAT conversation. As usual, you got Brandon and I here. We are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber to the channel already. And if you are a subscriber, go ahead and hit that membership button to become a member of the channel, as you will be supporting Brandon and I and the content that we do right here on our GOAT James Kingdom platform. We're also going live straight off of the GOAT James Kingdom Facebook group as well. So shout out to everybody that's following us there. You guys know what to do. We are GOAT James Kingdom. Today's show is going to be about LeBron James and how he overcame all these obstacles during the playoffs, and has he actually overcome more than any other great that's played the game. So we got our normal panelists as usual. We got King John back in the building. We got Travis. We see y'all in the comments. Thank you for joining us again. Craig just popped up. What up, Craig? We're about to have a great show. What's good, Brandon? What we got for these gentlemen today? What we got for everybody today?
Today I just want to throw it back, to our panel. We're going to talk about the moments that LeBron James had in the postseason. I was just sitting back and I was thinking about it. Like, LeBron has really done some amazing things in the playoffs. Like, he has overcome a lot. Just thinking about when he was, the Golden State, the Spurs series, even the Boston series early on in his career when he was 22, making it to the finals. Like, those things, those moments, just watching videos are like, man, this guy, when he's done playing basketball, his documentary series is gonna be crazy about what this guy has done in his career. So I'm gonna just start off with John. What is Give me a few moments in LeBron postseason career that you're like, man, I didn't know he was gonna, come out on top.
Detroit. I shouldn't even have to say anything else besides Detroit. If I say Detroit and LeBron James, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that 48-point special.
Yes. I mean, 25 of the Cavs, 26 points. I mean, who saw that? At 22? No, that don't supposed to happen. I mean, that young in your career, you averaging 28. The next closest person on the team averaged, what, 16, 17 points? I mean, what he did in that series, it was to me, it was the first time he put fear in the opponent. They didn't think they could beat him. And he didn't only put fear in Detroit. You know, he put fear in the Celtics. That's when they formed the big three. Right after that. I mean, what he's done in his career, they've asked him, and to this day, year 21, what they've asked of him is to be the one guy to do it on his own, all by himself. He shouldn't need any teammates. That's it. That's his standard. That's the standard for LeBron. No help. We should be able to get four bombs off the street, and guess what? If you the GOAT, you should be able to win the championship. Go 82-0, no missed shots, no turnovers. This is your career. That's the standard and what he's supposed to do. And I mean, the Detroit series just changed, always changed it for me right there.
And he asked for a playoff moment, not no emotional speech, man. Get out of here.
That's the playoff moment. All right, Craig. Let me go to you, Dad.
Hey, Craig was about to cry.
Yeah, hey, Craig's like, man, how do you follow that? How can I follow that up? What has Michael Jordan ever done to make me feel that good? Oh my God. Oh,
All right. So what moment did you think LeBron should not have prevailed and came out on top?
Oh, you talking to me now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Detroit. Yeah, I think
The
Detroit.
Detroit series.
22
All right,
straight points, 25 straight points in the fourth quarter.
Any other series, because John already said that Detroit. You got any other
Oh
ones?
well, I would say the Bulls series when he shut down Rose.
Yeah, the Bulls was favored to win that
Celtics
series.
series
Okay.
when
Yeah.
he beat the hell out of Pope.
And we had, to me, I think that was the greatest performance in a non-final series I've ever seen. When at 46 points, about 45, he was unstoppable that game. All right, Travis.
But yeah, 45,
Travis,
15, and what, 6?
yeah, he shot like 80%. It was crazy. All right, Travis, let me kick it to you. What moment you got for LeBron?
Well, I mean, obviously, I would say 2016. Like, I don't think anybody thought that they were just going to go in there and beat that, just because of the mythical type season they had. Like, nobody thought the Bulls' record would ever be broken, but when Golden State did it, it was, I think it put like this air of invincibility on them, kind of that they really couldn't be beat. Although I don't think they were better than the two subsequent teams, but it was just nobody. I didn't think any. I thought they were just going to they were going to handle them, and obviously you have the incredible comeback. Um, but I think that was probably the moment where I said, okay, well that's leading from the front. That's elevating your game to a top five level individually. For any series that we've ever seen. It's part of the ranking. But that for me was, uh, the chef's kiss there. I mean, I would say the Pistons series, but that was hardly the same Pistons team to give Shaq and Kobe the business. I mean, they didn't have a top three defender of all time in Ben Wallace. They were a shell of themselves. Like, we can glaze them all we want for that series, and LeBron performed great, but that wasn't one of his best. Or I
All
said
right,
that wasn't one of the bigger ones.
all right, but Johnny, what moment you got for LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, you guys touched on.
Something different than the guys. Do you have
Yeah,
anything different?
He ain't got no
yeah,
more.
yeah. No, I definitely got one because 2012 was one of them with Boston, but that 2013 series with San Antonio,
Yeah,
going down
yeah.
3-2, coming to Miami, and then
Having the like the parade about to start in the arena too.
Oh my
no,
God.
like yeah, no, just the idea that
Yeah.
LeBron was balling in that game, and we were still struggling to even win that game, and it was like scary at the end. We all know how the end happened. It was like, oh my God, like I remember putting my head down when Kawhi Leonard was on the free throw line and thinking to myself, man,
Yeah.
we're gonna lose the
They was bringing out the
championship.
trophy. They was bringing out the
I was
trophy.
like, yo, this is not
Already
even.
brought out the trophy. They
I
had
was
it
like,
broke off.
yeah, yeah, they started, they were, I mean, fans were leaving. It was like, yo, we're going to lose the NBA final. And I mean, and at that time, LeBron was balling. He had a serious fourth quarter. I know some people are going to bring up the end, him missing the three and the turnovers here and there, but still, he had a great fourth quarter. He scored like 16 points in the fourth quarter. He went ham that whole quarter, and they were still struggling to win. And then obviously the Ray Allen shot, and then they overcome that, right? Because you still got to win the overtime, because that shot just sends it to overtime. The game's not over. They win it in overtime, right, with the Chris Bosh block. And then game 7, LeBron shows up even more. Paced himself, did everything right, hit the game-winning shot. They hit the clutch free throws. What can we say? That was like, okay, look at y'all. This man is the man that y'all, because back then Skip Bayless was the number one thing. After every game, we went to go listen to what Skip Bayless had to say, because he was the number one guy. So we knew after that it was like, yo, what you gonna say now? What are you gonna say now? This is back to back. This is Tim Duncan, the Spurs. This is LeBron clutch moments, everything. That was like 2013 was it. 2013 was that
The
moment.
Spurs never go back to back, so ain't nobody had them win.
But then it wasn't even going back to back.
That was the first time.
That was like the
They had the
yeah.
game one. They had the game
Yeah.
one. They had the game
Yeah.
one, and
Just for the record, I ain't never happened in Jordan's watch. I don't know what it feel like for Jordan to be sweating in the game 7 in the finals. I just want to let y'all know that.
Then y'all realize a lot of
all right. So you guys brought up some good ones. So you got the Golden State, the Pistons, the Boston, Spurs, the
I
Bulls
would say
series. So that's 5.
Toronto too. Toronto, he's the Toronto killer. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that
LeBron too.
because
LeBron
they
too.
just couldn't beat LeBron. Like it wasn't like we were surprised that he beat Toronto again.
At
We're not surprised.
2018, even in 2018.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
weren't surprised. Like one of the series that put LeBron on the map for me when he was playing the Nets in 2007. They had Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, and he just brought his boys to the playoffs, and they actually beat the Nets with that star-studded team. Like that was the first time I noticed that. Like, okay, this dude is special. He's very special when he went out there and beat those guys. Kidd in his prime, Vince Carter in his prime. Like they were ready to actually go against the Pistons and make it to the finals, and LeBron James knocked them off. Like that was the first time I noticed that LeBron James was special. The first time I knew he was good, We all knew he was good, but man, that series just opened my eyes. Like they couldn't stop LeBron, and LeBron was making all the plays. His teammates, they was actually making shots. So yeah. All right, John, do you have any more playoff moments for LeBron?
The crazy part is I was finna bring up that New Jersey series. Exactly series I was finna bring up the New Jersey. It was just like it surprised everybody. I mean, he took it up to another level. It was just like, okay, this is my regular season, but this is my playoff. Y'all have to prepare for the playoff, LeBron. And I mean, you didn't think nobody could be that special, that fast, that early in their career. And he did. This is only his second year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like he got 5 seasons into it. He goes step by step. He went from year one, we get to the second round. Next year, we in the NBA Finals. I mean,
I thought you was talking about Magic Johnson when he won the finals his rookie year.
okay, as the second option. Okay, that's the second option.
Yeah.
We talking about number one option
with the
today.
league MVP. With the league MVP.
It don't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
42
All right.
points as a 20-year-old rookie.
Yeah, that don't matter. Yeah,
All right,
that don't matter.
all right,
Yeah.
all right, John. You got another playoff moment for LeBron before I go?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he beat Stephen Curry last year in the playoffs, that was great. I like that one. That was good. That was a
That's
good
always,
one there.
that's always great.
That's always great. When he beat Stephen Curry in the playoffs after Curry was the defending champ, and like, yo, bye-bye, end of the Warriors dynasty, no more. It's gone. I ended another one.
I don't think no one was surprised that he won that series though.
Wow. Yeah, nobody thought again.
Surprised.
I mean, if you're a LeBron fan, you're not surprised. But the way people were talking about the Lakers and Stephen Curry, he wasn't supposed to win that. Stephen Curry was supposed to
They
win that
said he
series.
didn't have Karen Durant, so nobody was expecting Golden State to win.
He won a championship the year before. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. He was a
didn't
play
defending
LeBron.
champ.
He didn't play LeBron with them. He didn't play. Golden State didn't play any team LeBron was on without Kevin Durant. So
All right. Shout out.
All right. Well,
go ahead, Brandon.
another series I got is that Boston series in 2018 when they went down 0-2, and they just looked like they ran out of gas. And then Game 7, remember Al Horford was saying how they were just exhausted, and he could just see LeBron just sitting over there like like he was at full strength. Like this guy was like a robot.
in 2015, did he sweep the 60-win team Hawks in the
Yep,
Eastern
they
Conference Finals?
swept the Atlanta Hawks. Yep.
Look at it took. Look what squad it took in those days to win 60 games.
4 All-Stars.
Yep, 4 All-Stars.
Where are they now?
It don't matter. They were 4 All-Stars, just like the Bum Knicks in '94. Where are they
one
now?
of the players in the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Al Horford in the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
That is
Al's
true.
roster contributed.
Yeah.
All right, Craig. Since we brought up like 6 or 7 moments for LeBron, and you trying to down LeBron, talking about the
I'm
Hawks.
just not down them, bro. I'm just saying, y'all.
I mean,
I just brought up
you the one who brought that up. We didn't bring up him beating the Hawks because everybody knew he was going to beat the Hawks. So LeBron was
Everybody
that.
knew he was
Like,
going to beat Golden State. Everybody knew he was going to
who
beat
knew he was going to beat Golden State?
Everybody knew he was going to beat Chicago.
I mean, Golden State
Who
was the
win?
defending champions.
I'm talking about Golden State in 2022.
Golden State was the higher seed as well. No one just expected them to win.
They
They beat him in 6 games. What you talking about?
The Lakers didn't play him in 2023. They played.
Well, 2023, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They beat him in 6 games.
Yeah, Golden State was the defending champions, correct?
Yeah, they were.
But that's the same thing when they was having issues, the punch in the face. Nobody thought they was going to go any further.
I mean, Jordan hit Steve Kerr in the face. Nobody put them down and didn't think they were going to win the championship.
That's different. That's different.
Jordan's GOAT.
All right. So let's go ahead and kick it off to some moments that we were surprised that Michael Jordan elevated his team to actually, win a playoff series or, a playoff game or something like that. All right, John, you can go ahead and kick it off first.
I mean, I'm from Chicago, and our championship was Detroit. That's at that time, it was the Detroit Pistons. we couldn't talk about anything else until we beat Detroit. I mean, it was a fear factor of Detroit, and anybody from Chicago who tell you it wasn't, they lying to you. We
I
had a
was
fear
just
of Detroit
surprised that Chicago won that series.
in 1991. Yes, even with
It
it
was
being a
not a
sweep,
surprise.
even with it being a sweep, it was a
Bulls
surprise.
was the Bulls should have actually won in '90, but it was not too much of a surprise. But it was something that Jordan had to overcome. Yes, something he had to overcome the Pistons to beat them.
I
So
mean,
sweep is
for us, it
overcoming
was. I
them.
mean, you can always go back and say that Cleveland, when the Cleveland was a 3 seed and the Bulls was a 6 seed,
Hmm.
and had we beat Cleveland that year. But for us in Chicago, it was always Detroit. Even up 3-0, a lot of people in Chicago didn't think we was gonna win that series. I'm telling you, from the heart of Chicago at the time, we still didn't think we was gonna win that series at that time, even though we should have won in '90. I mean, you saw what happened. We should have won in '90 and we lost. So we didn't think we could beat Detroit, and when we did, it was just like, oh, we could do what we want to the Lakers. Once it was the Lakers, because
Yeah,
it
you
was always
can't let the series go to Game 7. All right,
Hey,
Craig, he gave me some moments from Jordan that he overcome in
can
the
he, John?
playoffs.
I mean,
John,
when you great, it's just hard to come. Like he said, the Detroit. That was the only team. That was the only team really to get over the hump.
John,
Was the
John messed up
Detroit.
everything again. John messed up everything again. He gave a great speech. The
I
first
mean,
speech.
but
Now
when
nobody can come back that shit. Now it says Detroit.
I mean,
Just Detroit.
but you see what happened once he won. There was really no. There was. I mean, you could say New York when he was down 0-2 when he was gambling, but then again, they came back and won that series.
But they weren't supposed to be down 0-2,
I mean,
right?
LeBron was down in 0-2 and yep against the Celtics
It's a
against
better
the
team.
18-year-old Tatum.
I mean, there was a better team.
Who's the better team? Well,
Boston was definitely a better team than the Cavs.
the who?
They said New York. Then New York.
I'm
No, I'm
talking
just
about.
saying. He said Boston with LeBron, 18-year-old Tatum, which he wasn't 18, but Boston was just a better team than the Cavs.
But it wasn't.
They were.
Yes, they were.
Who the Cavs had in 2018?
That's
Kyle
the season
Korver.
that. Remember, Kyrie was hurt.
no, Kyrie wasn't
Oh,
on
he
it.
was on
He was
Boston.
with Boston.
He was on Boston.
Yeah,
was hurt.
he didn't play that series.
I know that. So
Okay.
who was on? Who
He was
on
hurt.
Cleveland?
So how can they be the better team if they just one of the?
He didn't play none of the playoffs. He didn't
Yeah.
play none of that playoffs.
I mean, you got Al Horford, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart,
Terry Rozier.
I mean,
Terry
yeah,
Rozier.
Boston was the better team. Like they were favored for a reason.
You
They've
got
been favorites for the last decade.
Yeah, they have.
No, I'm talking about Boston over the Cavs.
They've
Yeah,
been
over the
favorites for the
Cavs.
last
you
decade.
Yeah.
talking about George Hill, LeBron James, Kyle Korver, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson.
And Kevin Love didn't even play in Game 7.
So it did it with the concussion.
Just like Scotty. And what happened when Jordan didn't have Scotty?
Well,
Wait,
Jordan's
wait,
not
wait,
good in
wait.
Game 7s.
I'm saying that Detroit was the defending champions. Boston was a.
Well,
I mean,
Detroit-
you just
no,
I-
you said
I-
New
I
York.
guess
No, you
you
said New
did.
York. He
You
was
said
down 0-2
New York.
against New York. Yeah, it was New York. New York wasn't the defending champions. All they had was Patrick Ewing and a grocery bag man as their second best player.
Hey, he was in He was Atlantic City instead of focusing on the game.
Well, they had Scottie Pippen, so that helped a lot. That helped a lot in that series.
And they had the all defensive player in Horace Grant.
Yeah,
So
Scotty went
Jordan
off
have
in that
to-
game. Scotty went
Yes,
off in
yes.
that game 3.
Yeah,
went
Scotty
off in
just
that
didn't make one shot. He actually controlled the game.
Yeah,
so,
he did.
so Jordan's only a playoff overcoming problem was the Detroit Pistons in 1990 and 91. Is that it, Travis?
Yeah,
Is
because
all y'all
after
got?
that,
We don't want to talk
91
about
when
Okay, if you wanna
the
say
Bulls
Orlando
was
in
it-
was a
96,
superior team.
You said
if you want to say Orlando in
Cleveland
96
88?
because they beat them in 95,
No, I think that there was.
The
I mean,
72 Timberwolves?
there's. I don't think there's any moments where they went in thinking like, okay, like if they went into thinking they were huge underdogs, other than the series where like in let's say his early series where he was facing Boston, where obviously they didn't win, but I don't think that anyone was obviously from the East was gonna compete with those guys, especially those years. But I think one of my favorite moments was obviously when they beat the Suns, that Suns team had the best record in the league, and again they were top. They were the best offense in the league too. They had 8 guys in double figures. The MVP. Uh, Obviously, the Bulls were good that year too with a prime Mike, but I don't think that was the overwhelming consensus. The Bulls were going to win that series. Like that team was great. Were loaded with shooters. They were good defensively. Um, I don't think it was a huge upset that the Bulls won, but I think that Mike had a historic season. Obviously, 41 points a game of 51% shooting, pretty ridiculous. I believe that's still the highest output of any finals series of all time, and I could be wrong on that, but it was to me. I think that was just the crescendo of basically performance as far as where you're going to see just from a pure scoring output in the finals goes. But to me, I think that series could have gone away. I think the Suns should have been favored. I think they were, but that was that to me that was my favorite Michael Jordan, or one of my favorite series from him as far as just pure team elevation.
But
You look at his team.
they was underdog versus Cleveland when Cleveland was the 3 seed and the Bulls was the 6 seed. They was underdogs then.
1988, right? Was it 88 or 89?
89, I believe.
89. Yeah, 89 Bulls.
Yeah.
The 89 Bulls did because they didn't have that much of a good record compared to the year prior, but they played Cleveland in a 5-game series, and then they played the Knicks, and then they lost to Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then Mr. AP the Great said, he said Jordan is the apex predator. He said LeBron is the prey. That's the difference. That's why Jordan doesn't need to overcome anything like LeBron. So you're admitting that Jordan had no competition. Like usual, Jordan had no competition. But
that's because you're great. When you make your competition see, this the thing. Jordan competition is the reason he won, and LeBron is the competition the reason why he lost. Because every time y'all bring up the lose, y'all always bring up the competition. That's how I see it.
So hold on. Jordan won and LeBron lost. Would you say Jordan won and LeBron lost? What that supposed to mean?
Because when y'all always say people bring up 6-0 and they bring up these finals appearances, that's what I get. He only 6-0 because his competition is weak. So my thing is, okay, then if his competition, he's the competition that he won, then LeBron's the competition that he's lost.
No, because
how did Jordan always win and he only won 6 titles? What that supposed to mean?
Did you not hear what I just said? I said every time someone bring up that he's undefeated in the finals, they say because it's the competition. So
we're not even talking about that.
But I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. He's brought up the point of the competition. It's always
I'm bringing up the point that he's saying. I'm bringing up the point that he said here, and Brandon could bring up the thing here. He says, a apex predator like Jordan doesn't have to overcome like prey like LeBron. So he's basically saying Jordan is an apex predator. That means he is the top of the food chain. He doesn't have to overcome anything because he's the best. That means your comp is weaker than you. Who you playing against? That's what I'm saying.
Great. When did he become an apex predator? What year? 91. He was drafted in 84. So
after he beat Detroit, because obviously Detroit was what he had to overcome. Any Jordan fan would say that. He wasn't an apex predator in 1990.
No.
My thing is you can't say he overcome something. You can't really overcome a team that you're superior than. You can't overcome someone who's limping. You just step over them. That's what the Bulls did to Detroit. They just stepped over them. They didn't have to overcome Detroit because Detroit was already done.
How? They was the defending NBA champions. Y'all gloss about Detroit, who was 3 years removed from a championship.
And they were done. Because that Detroit Pistons team was superior than that Cavs team. That Detroit Pistons team was not superior than the Bulls team.
They was defending NBA champions.
They were not superior than that Bulls team that year.
Y'all just hypocritical when it comes.
Well, no, they did lose some players though. They did lose some players.
They just wasn't the best. They weren't better than the Bulls that year. They just was not.
So Cleveland had a top. 2007
just like Golden State was not the best team in the league last year, even though they just won a title. They just was not the best team. Everyone knew that.
2007 Cavaliers had a better just as good a defense as those Pistons teams, but they were both top 5 and they had a better offense. Tell me how they were superior that year to Cleveland.
What'd you say? Who?
The 2007 Pistons. They're statistically they were like the same team.
The conference finals, they were champions.
They had a better roster.
They had a better roster, but they didn't produce better.
He didn't produce better. So, what are you
So
trying to,
Talking about.
we're
so are
talking
you
about
saying
the
that?
Cle-
Are you saying the
So
2007 Cavaliers were better than the Detroit
Cavaliers
Pistons?
had a better offense and a top five defense.
so are you saying that Detroit Pistons that year was better than the Cavs and the Cavs should have won that series?
No, I'm saying the Cavs were better. If you look
The
at
Cavs were
if you
better,
look at if you look
and
at
they should have
statistics,
won. So LeBron just they just should have won. It wasn't really a question.
No, he's saying that the Cavs were a better team than the
Yeah, the
Detroit
Cavs
yeah,
were
Pistons.
better
I'm
than
not. No,
Pistons, so
what
so
I'm
they should have
saying
just won.
What I'm saying is everyone's like, oh, 2007 Detroit Pistons. Okay, cool. That was not the same team that beat Shaq and Kobe and was historic. I'm saying the team, if you look at their stats and whatnot, that team matched
Mm-hmm.
up well across the board. And again by the numbers, the Cavs actually had a better offense. So make it make sense. Was it a great series? Sure. Could have got out of the way? Absolutely. Was LeBron fantastic? 100%. But don't act like it was just this milestone that you can compare that was like and like this insane accomplishment because
Yeah,
in no way, shape, or form was it like a historical accomplishment.
he had to be
So
fantastic to win that
and,
series, though.
and
Of
so you're
course,
saying the
he's a top
Detroit
two
Pistons
player.
was not better than the Cavs. That's what you're saying. The Cavs should have beat them. Like it should have been a question. The Cavs were just
It was
superior than the
it.
Pistons.
The Cavs were on paper superior. Yes, it should. It
Okay.
wasn't a question, but it wasn't like they were head and shoulders. What I'm saying is they were at worst they were evenly matched. So I don't see why you can just point to that series and be like, oh my god, that's one of them. I pointed to the one where they were like heavy underdogs. Okay, 2007 just isn't
They were
unprecedented.
underdogs versus the Pistons too.
Okay,
They actually were.
were they? I mean, if they were, then it wasn't based on stats. It was
It
just
was
based on
based
record.
because Detroit was in the Eastern Conference Finals for 7 straight seasons. So it was either you had to go to them. Everybody,
They were glazing.
the Nets went through them. The Heat went through them. Everybody was going through them. So people was like, Cleveland can do it too. The Heat did it. The Nets did it. They was in the Eastern Conference for like 7 years straight.
Yeah. How about we look at actually the best
But wait
playoff
a minute,
runs of
hold
all
on,
time?
wait, Travis. See, this is why, Travis, I gotta stop you. Who had the better defense, Detroit or Cleveland?
I think Detroit did by like 2 slots, and they were both top five.
Detroit had the second best defense in 2007, behind the Spurs,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers had the fifth best defense.
Mm-hmm.
What was the difference in offense?
Cleveland had the better offense, I believe. Look up those
By less
stats
than
again.
less than a point.
Okay.
By
So
less than a point. So you're saying
at worst,
the
they're
Cleveland
evenly
Cavaliers had
matched.
that? No, the Cleveland Cavaliers exactly. So that means they had a better defense than the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that makes them a better team. They shot better than the Cavaliers did shot that year as far as field goal percentage, right? Now the Cavs were a better rebounding team, but they were a better passing team. The Cavs got more steals. They got more blocks. The Cavs fouled more, so they fouled less than the Cavaliers. They were legitimately a better team. They had a better record than the Cavaliers. And they were 21st in offense. The Cavaliers were 19th in offense. So
Yeah.
how were the Cavaliers? Did they didn't win the division? The Cavaliers didn't win the division. The Pistons won their division.
They won
They're
it
in
with
the-
what, 50 games?
They're still in the same division. They won it 53 games. They're in the same division. Cleveland plays against them 4 times a year. They're in the same division, the Central Division. How can you say that they're better based off of the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers had a great defense that year? Just that's all you're just saying because they were a top 5 defense. That made them
Yeah.
better. Even though Detroit had the number 2 defense.
Yeah, I literally said that they both had a top five defense, and I said the Cavaliers had a better offense. I was wrong. I was right on both those regards. What I'm saying is that you could make an argument that those teams were relatively evenly matched going into the season. I'm saying, how can you point to that series as some historical accomplishment when, again, those teams, when you look at it, again, their defense is very close together, and so is their offense. It's not like there was. It's not
Right.
like I said, the 2004 Pistons were
Okay,
there.
Trav, you're just talking
So
in circles. Who was the
Tra-
number one team in the East
uh-huh.
that year? Who was the number one team in the East that year, Travis?
2007, wasn't it?
Yes,
I don't even know. I have to look up the exact record.
it was the Detroit Pistons.
Okay. Who cares?
Who had the better odds to make it to the finals?
I don't care about odds or anything
Who
like
had
The
that.
Detroit
who,
Pistons.
all right, who had more All-Stars? Who had more All-Stars?
The Detroit Pistons.
Who had
You're
more?
talking about things that have nothing to do with what happened on the court.
Yes,
You're-
it's
That's
that.
what we're. Oh my goodness.
No,
How
you're
you
not.
make an All-Star team?
I'm saying, how can you? I don't get because it's voted on.
Okay. Who had the more all defensive players?
Who cares? Who had top five defense?
Who won
I don't
the
care.
series?
That's also voted on. All these
No,
things are
but you're
voted on,
talking. You have the Cleveland Cavaliers had no all defensive players on their roster.
but they still have
While,
top five defense. Okay.
while the Detroit Pistons had two all defensive players on their roster, plus an all NBA player on their roster. So they had three players that were either top 10 in defense and top 15 in the league, while the Cleveland Cavaliers had none of that. They had one player, LeBron James, just LeBron James.
Just like Chicago in '91.
It doesn't matter. It's like
No.
those players were defending on a high
Scottie
level.
Pippen was an all defensive player in 1991.
See, now we're just going off the rails because
No, that's
I said-
not. How?
I
We're
said
talking about
facts.
how
I'm
you
not
making
trying to-
all NBA.
I don't
Trav, you
understand
said
how you
why
can
does
point
the
to that
stats
theory.
matter?
The Cavs
You
was
have-
down 2-0 in that series versus the number
Yeah.
one seed. And
What does that
LeBron
have to
didn't
do
have to
with what I
overcome nothing.
Over.
He didn't have to overcome that
Gibson
series
had to
to win.
overcome
Who
something.
was the
So-
was the number one seed in Detroit in 1991 in Chicago? The Bulls.
So okay,
Who
so
had
they
more
were
all NBA and
they
all
were better
defensive
than-
players? The Bulls.
They were at a team.
Bulls.
They were facing a team who were they were better than defensively, and they matched up well with, they were better with offensively, and they matched up well with defensively. Okay, were they number one seed? Sure, but again, you're pointing to that series as this Mount Everest, right? For LeBron. I said LeBron was fantastic in that series. Great.
We didn't
But
say that was the
how would-
greatest series ever. We just said that's one of the series he overcame in the playoffs, which was being down 0-2 to the number one seed. So
I mean,
that
did
doesn't fit the
overcame?
criteria? That doesn't fit the criteria.
I mean, if
To
that's
you.
your criteria, sure. I'm just saying there were way better examples of like him.
All right.
yes,
against
we
the-
named like 7 of them. We named like 7.
7. I mean,
How about-
I'd even say when he lost, like against his way better series was against Orlando in 2009.
Oh, he overcame another
But-
sleep in the finals and won that game against Golden State. That's something to be proud of.
What? We
I mean, it's
I'm
not being
surprised
proud
that
of,
y'all
we're just talking-
y'all can't. We went from talking
Y'all
about
knocking
LeBron having.
LeBron for winning, really.
Yeah, no, we went from accepting LeBron having all these overcomings in the playoffs, and just because Jordan doesn't have enough or only has one,
Just go attack LeBron.
they're going to attack LeBron because Jordan didn't have to overcome nothing in his career. He didn't have
Hey,
to overcome nothing.
It's not an
Because
attack
what
on
he only
LeBron.
had to do
Yeah,
it
but he
once.
couldn't. He
man.
lost.
You know what?
When
You
he
know
was
what?
down, he lost.
Well, let's go outside of Jordan because they're hurting the Jordan because we had FYF Sports. Shout out to Lamont. Bring up Bill Russell.
No,
Is there
matter of fact, let's go to Kobe. Kobe.
Kobe didn't have to overcome nothing.
He overcame the Celtics.
Okay, what series did Kobe have to overcome?
He overcame the Celtics in 2010.
Said the Celtics. Okay,
2010?
we go. He was
He was
he
up
was the
on
number one
Phoenix.
seed, right?
He was up
Wasn't
on
he number one
Phoenix
seed?
3-1. He was
He
up
beat all
on
the
Phoenix
teams LeBron
3-1.
couldn't in the East.
He
So-
overcame Shaq having more championships than him.
Okay, I'm serious. Travis.
No, Kobe was part of the 4 of the top 12 hardest playoff runs of all time. So,
Okay. Which series did he had to overcome?
overcome? Let's see.
Yeah, just like
Like,
LeBron. We
they
named like
were-
7 for LeBron and 1 for Jordan.
So let's see. I think they were probably underdogs in 2002 and 2001 again, or when
Don't
they
talk
faced the
anything
Spurs.
about 2002. That's the fixed playoffs.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
2001, 2002 against the
yeah,
Spurs.
yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
The
whoa,
hardest
whoa,
ones of
whoa,
all
whoa,
time.
We're going to get that one to
whoa,
Shaq.
whoa.
We're going to get that one to Shaq.
Oh wait, so yeah, exactly. So how does Kobe overcome 2002?
Okay. We're not going to say what Shaq did. Come on, Travis. You're the Kobe guy. You're the Kobe guy. Go. They're in the comments
You
talking
got to
about
go
Kobe.
from
So, come on. They're in the
2005 and
comments.
on. 2005
Yeah, they're in
and
the
on.
comments with Kobe. They're bringing
What?
up Kobe. They're bringing up Kobe in the comments. Come on, Travis.
2005 and on. What are you talking about?
Let's go
That's,
get it. Let's
that's
go get
Kobe's
it.
over. You can't say Kobe overcame some while he had Shaq.
Why?
Well, Shaq was the leader because Shaq was the leader on the team. Shaq was the man.
Oh, here we
Come
go.
on,
Okay,
come
so
on, Travis.
even
Let's
if we do that,
go. Let's go.
2000
Let's give it to Kobe.
2000,
Kobe won the more
2010
50 win
was
team.
still a
Somebody
top-
said. Black Mamba 824.
You could still say 2010 was still a top, was still one of the hardest playoff runs of all time, and he beat the Celtics, which actually just obliterated LeBron to get there.
We are going to give that to Kobe. We're going to give 2010 to Kobe. Next.
2010 is tough. It's tough. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Okay, that
we're
was
also
tough.
we're eliminating all of his
No,
playoff
no.
runs before
Okay,
that.
okay. Give us a series that he outplayed Shaq and overcame in the
Well, he
before
outplayed
well,
Shaq
during
throughout
Shaq.
the majority of the Western Conference
I was about to
playoff
say the
runs in, I
Spurs
think,
series.
Okay,
2001
when? That's why 2001 versus who?
The Spurs.
against the Kings and the Spurs.
The
The
Spurs.
Kings
That
and the
was
Spurs.
Oh yeah,
the Spurs.
Okay.
There was a Western Conference, but I think it was
You
2002
realize that
or
2001
2001.
Lakers went 15-1 in the playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah, but
They,
that
Okay.
they
doesn't
faced
mean
like three,
that doesn't mean
like
Kobe
261
overcame
Well, I
teams.
anything.
mean, the best team won. Was he down?
It sounds like the
No.
defense. Sound like the
No.
defense.
Oh, he wasn't down. Okay.
Well, they
Sound
were
like
down in 2002, and they came back and won
2002. To who?
Nah, that's the
against the
that's the
Kings.
fifth playoffs. We
The
can't
Kings.
mention
Okay.
2002.
Okay. Shaq
Lakers
and
won in April.
Yeah. So those
okay.
were like
All right, Travis. Come on. The guys in the comments are looking. He said 2009, 2010. He overcame.
yeah. These are the same guys
Black
in the
Mama
comments who
said
are
that.
never gonna get up here and say shit. So I mean, they
Black
just
no,
Yeah.
his name is Black Mamba
Black
number 8,
Mamba.
number 24. He said 2009, 2010, Kobe went to 3 straight NBA finals without Shaq. Making the finals is important to Kobe fans.
I know Player of the Week is important to Kobe fans. It's
It
on his
better be.
statue.
It's on his
he actually
statue.
beat Prime Tim Duncan 2008 with a top 70 with only a top 75 player basically, and what is he? He won 2 rings with. I think he's still the only guy to do that.
So
Back to back without a top 75 or with just a top 75 player. Or was that one?
So he went back to back with another first ballot Hall of Famer.
Is he first ballot?
oh come
Who?
on.
Paul Gasol. Paul
Yeah.
Gasol is he first ballot. He's
Yes.
definitely first ballot.
First ballot.
so?
Well, in real life, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's in it.
In real
He's
life,
already-
he is.
It happened
Sure.
already.
Real
He's
life,
first
he
ballot,
is.
but he's not top 75 player, right?
No, he's not top 75.
Yeah. So that Kobe's still the only one to do it.
Okay, who did Tim Duncan have top 75 on his team? Since you're saying the Spurs.
Hakeem had a top 75 player.
No,
Uh,
he's
the
talking about
second
the
one.
Yeah, Travis.
2008.
Who did Duncan have top
Who was
75
on the
on his team?
2008 Spurs that was a top
Come
75
on,
player?
Travis. Come on, Travis. Tell me. Tell us. We're
2008,
looking.
but they had, I believe, Tony Parker's top 75?
No.
Not in real life.
No, not in real life.
David Robinson was on the coaching staff.
He is getting cooked. I'm
Getting
getting because they don't know the answers. Answers is getting cooked.
No, you
That's
know
getting
why?
cooked.
Because they never really watched Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan's career. They don't even know about their great moments.
They know all about LeBron.
No. Y'all getting
We're waiting, Travis.
No, y'all said
We're waiting. Craig, help Travis out.
Well, they could break
Craig,
down
Travis,
LeBron's
wait
Wait a
career.
minute. Now y'all changed. Y'all
Craig,
said great
please help
moments.
Travis out about this
What's the
Kobe
difference
stuff.
between
Kobe,
great
Michael
moments
Jordan,
and
same thing.
overcoming the series? Overcoming
Hey,
is
I
All
answered
right.
you.
can
You're
have
the
a
one who said
great-
we had to
you
admit
can have a great
half of his
personal
career.
series.
I said which series did he outperform Shaq and won?
I give you
You
like
said
4 series.
you
No,
said
I'm
Golden
talking
State.
about in general.
No,
You
I
talking
didn't.
about
You said Golden
overcoming,
State.
meaning you basically was the
I mean, not Golden
underdog
State,
and
the
you won.
Kings. You gave me the Kings.
I give you 4 series.
Who? Okay,
Boston.
I'm sorry.
He gave us Boston
You said
and Spurs.
I give you when he outperformed Shaq specifically, right?
outperformed Shaq.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
And they
Outperformed
overcame by being down. They overcame by being down or not being the best team when he had Shaq on his team.
so we're getting very
Not when he won a
specific now.
series with Shaq. That's what we're overcoming. How you going to overcome a team that you're better than?
They were better than our team.
What team
You
was
mean
it?
they're better-
They
they
didn't
were better
have to
because they
overcome
won?
Shaq.
So the 01 Lakers were by no means better going into the playoffs than the Spurs. Okay, the Spurs had the best record in the league, and they had the MVP. Okay, and so they were
Joe,
favored.
number one
They were
team
not
only
favored to win
counts
that
as
series.
LeBron's opponent.
No, because
Yeah.
LeBron's faced tougher opponents. Y'all don't want to accept that. It's not our
Y'all
fault that
literally just had a whole argument about LeBron beating the Spurs, and now it's a whole issue about about Kobe beating the Spurs.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
literally
argue
the
that
same
Spurs
Johnny.
team was better than
the
07.
same players that both Kobe.
Johnny,
Uh-huh.
do you know what that 2001 Spurs series was versus the Lakers?
Yeah.
He's gonna tell it was a sweep.
No.
It was a sweep. It was a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this
I was
is
about to
what
say
Kobe-
1
this
to
is
4
what-
0.
And Craig tried to help him out, saying they was 15-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah. And that one game lost was in the finals versus Philly.
Derek Fisher
Mhm.
had 28 points in the closing game.
Yeah,
Kobe
that's a
overcame
real.
what?
Overcame.
Shaq.
So that's the
All
dumbest
right,
thing.
all right, all
So
right, all right, Travis.
that was a
Travis,
58
I'm
win
going to
team
Wow.
answer
Spurs
that one from your
Wow.
four. So you said
overcome.
Wow.
Boston.
So
You
we're
said the Kings for
penalizing
some
Kobe.
reason.
We're penalizing the Lakers or these players in general for
We're not
being
penalized. We said
for
when did he overcome?
outperforming
He didn't overcome sweeping a lesser team.
a lesser team. They were better in every regard than those Lakers going into that series. Lesser? How were they lesser? They were lesser when they matched up and the Lakers were performing at a higher level. That's what you're saying. You're docking Kobe
They
for
had
just
David
being
Robinson. They
better.
had 2 top 75 players. It was literally
Yeah, they
easy.
had Robinson and Duncan, and they
They got
had
swept.
a bunch of people. They had
Because
The
Kobe
Lakers-
Derek
They
Anderson.
got
The
swept.
the
Kobe,
He didn't
Lakers
overcome. They got
had
swept. They
Shaq.
wasn't down at all.
The
They were not
Lakers
down at all. They
had
swept.
Shaq, the most dominant player y'all say y'all ever seen in NBA history. Shaq.
We're not
Exactly.
saying what series did Kobe score more points than Shaq in the playoffs. We're saying what series did Kobe Bryant overcome for the Lakers to win versus a better team or being down.
See, I changed it. I want y'all to read. I want y'all to read back what y'all.
Yeah, because the whole point of
started-
overcome, you have to the point of overcoming is
How
that
you
you're in
gonna
a position.
overcome? That
You're in a
doesn't make
position
any
where
sense. But
you're in a position where you're
what
not
we have to do
supposed.
here.
You're in
In
a
order
position
to
where you're
glaze
not supposed
LeBron-
to succeed. Where was the position where were they supposed to beat San Antonio? Yes.
No. Why?
they swept them.
But that's
They-
after the fact.
After the fact, yes. But if you go into that series, everything
So
was
when did
everything was favoring San Antonio.
so when did the Lakers ever struggle versus San Antonio?
First game.
Well, they lost like basically the year after that, 2003.
Everything, all the series we brought up, LeBron was struggling through these series playing against tough opponents. They were struggling. Yes, I'm not going to say the Spurs were not a tough opponent.
Oh,
but
if
I'm
that
just
was
saying,
the case,
they weren't struggling. If you're up 1-0, where are you struggling? You're up 2-0. You're up 3-0. You sweep them. Where did you overcome anything? Other
but
than your
technically,
opponent
he-
perceived
this
to be
series
better
was
than you.
about Kobe outperforming Shaq. That's what
No,
this really
you're
was
down.
about.
You're down 0-2 against Detroit. You're in a game 5. You scored
Yeah, so
25
play better.
straight points. Yeah, you scored 25 straight points to get your team a victory, to get a lead in the series. That is overcoming. You were down 0-2 like that. Like you guys don't know no moments where Kobe was struggling and he had to overcome that and accomplish something.
We just
Oh, you
know
mean
he
like
was
in the
down
2000 finals where he
for-
took over for an injured Shaq and like scored the last like 8 points to win to actually win that series or actually force it to a game 6?
Which
That was
series
one of
that?
them. If we're talking about specifically,
How you gonna force a game 6? They were down 1-3.
no, I'm sorry. They given them an opportunity to close out a game 6. I'm sorry.
So they ended up taking the lead, going up 3-2 because of Kobe, right? That was the one where Kobe was like doing this, right? He was telling them, "Chill, I got this." Shaq fouled out. Was that in 2000? Is that what you're talking about? So that's Kobe overcoming something, one game.
Well, it's Kobe
But he had-
overcoming an injury to. I mean, if we're just being super specific with the criteria, you're saying okay, we can talk about where he just played well and beat a team that they weren't supposed to be. We're talking about when they were down or when he didn't play well. It's just super specific stuff that we have to talk about. Here.
No, we're talking about overcoming. I mean, because most of the series LeBron's played that he wasn't supposed to win. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. He wasn't supposed to beat Washington in 2006.
Why? The whole
beat-
team was injured. There was no.
Not,
whole
no,
team
that was
injured.
that was in 07. In 2006, they were not injured. He wasn't supposed to beat them.
Yeah. So, sidekick Kobe Bryant in the hardest era of all time, the the early 2000s. Okay.
Uh-huh.
His numbers throughout that entire playoff run, especially against the Spurs,
But
were arguably
But you
better
can't
than
use
anything
that when
LeBron
he
did.
has Shaq to lean on. It's not just him. He's leaning on the greatest player that's in the
we're
game at the time.
I just gave you some. Now we're just talking about excuses.
No,
here.
yeah, because that's like me telling you Scottie Pippen had to overcome Detroit.
What? Scottie
Exactly.
Pippen's numbers. He was never outscoring Michael.
Yes,
Jordan
because
shooting
let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you. Without Scottie Pippen's 22 points per game in 1991, they don't sweep Detroit.
Okay, what's your point?
That same thing
If
with
you
you.
take
You're saying-
Jordan 30 points away, they wouldn't sweep him.
And that's what I'm saying. If you take away Shaq's 30 points per game in all those series that he's bringing up for Kobe, they don't win.
Well,
Oh,
take
so-
Boobie
so-
Gibson 28 points. There's no game 7.
But no,
So
but that's what I'm
Kobe
trying.
didn't
We're
play
not.
by
Nobody's
himself,
trying.
right?
But nobody's trying to give Boobie Gibson credit. Y'all trying to give Kobe credit for being Boobie Gibson
You
and being
literally asked
being
about Kobe.
Scottie Pippen. Yeah,
You were
but
literally asking.
not when he was Scottie Pippen. Not when he was Boobie Gibson. We're asking you when he was Shaq. when he was LeBron, when he was Michael. That's 05 and on. You don't want to do that. Am I wrong?
Was
He
it
has
really-
Shaq to lean
No,
on.
you're absolutely right, man. If we discount half of his career, you're 100% right.
He said
We're
we're not
done.
discounting his career. We're discounting the
I'm
career where he
discounting.
was not when he was not better than Shaq.
He was better than Shaq in a lot of these series. You're just saying it was
Okay,
Shaq,
hold,
so we
hold, hold
can't
on.
talk
Hey,
about
Travis. Let me answer the question. Let me ask you this: did Scottie Pippen have to overcome the Knicks when they were down 0-2?
it. So you're talking about Scottie Pippen versus Kobe
No, I'm
Bryant.
just saying, did he? Because he was the second best player of the team, and he had to bring them back in that series. Are we giving that to Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan?
Scottie Pippen was top 50.
Wait. Scottie Pippen outplayed Jordan in Game 3. What is he
Like,
talking
are we
about?
giving that
He did.
to what Jordan did or what Scottie did, or is it just both?
It's a team effort, man. Like obviously the better
It's a
player.
team
Like
effort. Okay. It's
every
a team
series
effort
we
with
look
that one.
at
It's
is
a
going
team
to
effort
be.
with that one. It's a team effort with that one. Okay, we got it. We got it.
When did I not
Understood.
say it was not a team effort? When did I say Kobe carried Shaq or vice versa? Not saying
Well,
that.
And we're
You're,
discounting
we're trying to
Kobe.
find out. We're trying to find out when Kobe overcame some, and you asking us to accept him with Shaq. We can't do that because Shaq was the better player. It was Shaq's
Okay.
team.
You're right.
Everything was
So
built
I can
around
only-
Shaq.
I
But
can only
when
think
we
of-
reverse it to Scottie Pippen is different.
All right. Do you think the San Antonio Spurs went into that series and says, "Yo, we got to stop Kobe instead of Shaq," or we gonna stop Shaq instead of Kobe?
I don't think Shaq was like they. I thought like they think they could have stopped Shaq, and they did limit him because they had David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and Shaq wasn't just obliterating them. Kobe was the better player in that series. Like obviously they didn't want to. They didn't want to like let. They didn't think Shaq or Kobe was going to go off the way he did, but obviously the focus is going to be on
How-
Shaq. But
Shaq had
they can defeat- they can-
Shaq had
So if you let them
27,
talk, it sounded like they was aiming to stop Shaq. If you let them talk, they was aiming to stop Shaq. They just didn't
Uh-huh.
expect Kobe to go off like that. Sound
Of
like
course.
They
mean-
allow Kobe. I mean,
So,
that's what the Pistons did.
we're just talking the narrative as opposed to what happened.
what happened was they aimed to
What happened
slow
is a sweep,
Shaq
man.
down. They threw multiple bodies at Shaq, and Kobe went off
Sure.
because he got one-on-one coverage.
Now looking at high spike, without
You
Kobe,
obviously
without
didn't
Shaq,
watch the series.
Kobe
They
had
were
two
throwing
more
everything
than
at
Shaq.
both players.
So who was really important in those series? Even though Shaq got the Finals MVPs, who was really important to show that Kobe?
No, I mean, Kobe went off for 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, shooting 51% from the field, 36 from three-point land. He had a great series versus that team. But again,
Shaq still 27 and 13 too. Derek Fisher and I mean, so
exactly. 27 and 13, shooting 54% from the field. So Shaq obviously was more, again, he's doing more than that. They're focusing on Shaq. They're focusing on Shaq. They're not focusing on Kobe Bryant. They're trying to slow down Shaq. Shaq is out there, and Kobe Bryant, like he said, is getting one-on-one coverage and able to dominate because of Shaq. He's not struggling to do this. They're sweeping this team. They have no answer for Shaq and Kobe.
Until 2003, because then they came 2003. The Spurs came back and
Yeah, because the Spurs had a better team in 2003. They added some players to their team like Tony Parker.
That's why the Lakers had to go out and get Gary
Rookie
Payton and
Tony
Karl
Parker.
Malone.
Yeah, man.
They got
And they're not
better.
gonna-
They did get better as a team. They did get
Okay,
better.
so are we saying that Kobe overcame the Spurs in that series? Is that
in
what
a
we're
sweep.
saying?
In a sweep.
Is
no,
that what
you
we're saying? That
asked,
he
I
overcame?
asked for a series that he played better than Shaq in. This is not referring to him.
So,
over
No,
That,
no
that's
one
your
said that.
criteria. He
You
played
just
better
asked
than
him to show
Shaq.
the
Series that
series
he
that
overcame, that he
better
played
than
better than
Shaq.
Shaq. That's what we're saying. Like
He played-
we're saying that Shaq is the reason that they won those series. So which series did Kobe play Shaq and they overcame from being down or had the
Why do they have
lesser
to be
team?
down? They beat the best team in the league.
That's how you overcome. You don't overcome by sweeping teams and being better. The number one seed is not overcoming the number 8 seed. The number 8 seed will overcome the number 1 seed.
The Spurs. What
So
was the
if I
Spurs
said-
number 1 seed in 01?
They were number 1 seed in 2001. They were by 2 games.
So by that criteria, by being the number 1 seed in the Lakers conference, right?
with MVP
So
Duncan.
are you saying the Kobe overcame the Spurs to beat them in 2001, Greg?
All I'm
that
saying
what you're
is
saying?
the Lakers wasn't the best team in the West by record wise.
And Kobe wasn't the best player on the Lakers by far, by far a stretch of imagination. That's the whole point. Kobe's not overcoming nothing when he can lean the Shaq at any moment in time. Talk about Shaq here.
What happened the first year?
Kobe fans don't like that idea, but like, I mean, let's just be real. That's like, again, that's like us saying Scottie Pippen overcame the Detroit Pistons because in Game 7 the year before he had a migraine, they lost. He comes back the next series, he puts up better numbers, and they sweep them. So he overcame the Detroit Pistons. He overcame the Knicks down 0-2 because he went into a game 3 and outscored Michael Jordan, did everything and won the game for them. And put them back into the series.
Or do you could say in '94 he overcame?
That's not fair to say that. That's not fair to say that.
He overcame Jordan.
We could also say he overcame the Phoenix Suns because they were putting him on Charles Barkley and double teaming Charles Barkley with him and Horace Grant, and they were able to shut down Charles Barkley as much as possible so the Bulls could win that series. We can easily say these things. We can say, he overcame. He overcame the Cleveland series because they were going to lose that series. But if he doesn't start Game 5 in 1988 and score 25 points, the Bulls lose that game. And Scottie Pippen had Michael Jordan to lean on the whole time. Y'all never gonna give Scottie Pippen the credit of overcoming anything. So why should we give it to Kobe?
Because Kobe, you asked when did Scottie Pippen outplay Michael Jordan for an entire series? I mean, that lead the team in everything, including scoring. Never.
What you mean? Kobe didn't lead in every category besides everything in that series.
Very series we're talking
about. He only outscored him by
he
outscored him by 6
rebounds.
Points.
Okay.
Shaq had more rebounds. Shaq had more blocks.
Okay.
Shaq
Kobe
shot
was
better from the field.
Scoring, assists, steals.
Things that guards are going to lead in.
Okay. So
who averaged a double-double? Who averaged a double-double?
Kobe was the better player. Why would he have more rebounds than Shaq? He outscored Shaq.
Why would he have more assists than Kobe? Why would he have more steals than Kobe?
So he was leader in assists and scoring.
The scoring is all he had. He shot more than him. That doesn't mean you played better.
Answer the question. Show me a series Pippen outscored Jordan for an entire 5 or 4.
There is not a series where anybody outscored Michael Jordan because there is not a series you're going to find where somebody took more shots than Michael Jordan.
You can't.
Who took more shots in that series versus San Antonio? Kobe or Shaq? That is answering your question because you're asking somebody to outscore somebody when they don't shoot.
Show me a series where Scottie Pippen outscored Jordan in a 7-game or a 4-game.
I can show you a series where Scottie Pippen led in rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. That's facts.
So all we're doing is we're just continuously adding things onto the criteria to try to.
No, you guys make it seem like outscoring is. You guys make it seem like scoring is the only way of outplaying somebody. Scoring is not the only way. It's not to outplay. And to score, you need the ball. To score, you need the ball. Jordan is not taking the ball 90 feet and scoring. Somebody has to pass it to him. Somebody has to rebound it to him. So Jordan is not scoring just because of Jordan scoring.
What's the point of basketball? How do you
actually have the possessions? To have more possessions. To have more possessions. To have more possessions. That's the point of basketball.
What do you do
the most possessions.
What do you do with those possessions? You
score. Exactly. Jordan's 33 points per game wasn't winning those series in 1988 or 1987.
And Pippen's 10 points wasn't doing it either.
But his 22 did. When he was scoring 20, they were winning.
41 did.
Every time Scottie scored 20 points per game, the Bulls won. The Bulls lost multiple series where Jordan averaged over 30 points per game. The Bulls lost multiple series with Jordan averaging over 30 points per game. They've never lost a series when Scottie averaged over 20.
94. What the fuck you talking about?
With Michael Jordan?
94 without Jordan when he had more shots to take. He couldn't even average more than 20.
Well, so now we're talking about when Scotty's by himself.
He wasn't ball hogging. He could have shot 25.
He is by himself. He was by himself.
So he scored every point that series by himself?
No, that's what y'all say Jordan does.
Negative.
That's what y'all say Jordan does. I keep telling you the Bulls lost plenty of series with Jordan averaging 30 points per game.
Who said that he scored? I've never said he scored everything by himself. It takes a team to win. We're just arguing in circles.
No.
When did Kobe?
I'm asking you to show me a moment in time in Kobe Bryant's career where he didn't have Shaquille O'Neal, where he was struggling, his team was struggling, and he overcame that particular moment.
Okay, so based on that criteria, I can only think of maybe two instances. That was the Celtics, and you could say maybe against the Nuggets the year before
Don't do that.
when
That's
they
like
were
saying don't show me a
down,
single
or they were
picture. You
1-1,
can't
losing
mention
before
What?
the
How? Because y'all argue about Scottie Pippen. Y'all don't want to give Scottie his props.
What do you mean, Scotty?
What?
Scotty was great. We all say without Scotty, there's no 6 championships.
You don't want us to give him his props because you just want us to hate mindlessly.
No, I'm asking y'all. Are y'all going to accept me saying all these things about Scottie Pippen overcoming during
Yes.
the playoff moments?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Overcoming,
Then.
but you're saying it in a way that he didn't think he was by himself. He contributed to the team effort. It wasn't him doing shit by himself. It wasn't 1-on-5. Don't be disingenuous.
When it's
Jesus
LeBron, it's
Christ.
1-on-5. When it's LeBron,
Y'all
it's
say
1-on-5.
105.
Never. No, it's not.
Y'all say
Yeah,
that's the
it
reason
is.
he left
You're,
Cleveland because
see, so
everybody
you
was
brought
continuously
up-
forget that we're not biased.
We brought up series. We brought up series where it was 1-on-5. Besides me bringing up the Spurs series, every series we brought up after this was 1-on-5.
1-on-5.
Yes.
So if I'm going to look at, if I rewatch, then I'm seeing one player playing against 5 people.
More than likely, that's what you're gonna see. LeBron rebounding, a passing, assists, and doing everything, leading his team in every category.
So he has every.
How many
stat.
times in the playoff series has Michael Jordan or Kobe led their team in rebounds, assists, points, steals, and blocks? All of it.
I'm going to say probably none. I know Mike came close in '91, but he didn't. He's definitely not going to lead in like.
Okay, so
rebounds.
LeBron's done that.
His team in
LeBron's
four
done that multiple
categories for
times.
82
All right, so let's do
games.
it. Let's
Sure.
shorten it. Let's shorten it. Let's do points, rebounds, and assists.
So what? I'm curious. What is your point here?
My point is that that's the 1-on-5. My guy
How
is
is that the
my guy
1-on-5?
is because my guy
That
has
sound
to
like
lead
a
it.
ball hog. Who
Because
gotta do-
my
who
no
gotta
no
do everything?
how what's a ball?
How?
You can't.
How? He always
Somebody,
got a ball in hand.
I've
He don't
never
rebound.
heard the
I'm
leading
gonna
assist
rebound.
man on any team
I'm
being
a
a ball
controller.
hog.
I'm gonna control everything. I'm gonna grab every rebound. I'm gonna pass every ball. I'm gonna take every shot. That sounds like a ball. That's someone who can't play without the ball.
No, I know for a fact LeBron's played an NBA season where somebody took more shots than he did. That never happened for Jordan.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. When did
His
Jordan
second
ever have
season.
somebody take?
Second
Who?
season. His second season. His whole team shot more than him.
No, per
Talking
game.
about-
That's the season when he was hurt.
Per game. Not per game. I'm talking about per
What do you
game.
mean? He was on the
All right, guys. You guys are going over this imaginary thing about Kobe, but are we going to concede that LeBron has overcame more than anybody in postseason history, or do we have someone who can match him? Can we bring out somebody who can match him?
Well, only Bill
Overcame.
Russell.
So with your criteria, it's tough because the greats don't usually like get down like 0-3 holes, right? I'd say Hakeem had like the hardest playoff run in history, right? Whenever ever talks about
Jordan was
that.
down 0-3 a few times, and never, but he got swept. But like what team?
I mean, they gave
what
your guy
player?
extra game. He still couldn't win that.
What player? What player have we said they went in as the underdog, or they were down in the series and they had to overcome by doing something spectacular to win?
You're right, Greg. I can't think of anything that when they were down and had to do anything spectacular to win an entire series.
I seen a guy score.
I mean, Jordan had 9 extra years outside of the rings to do that as well. But we did say the Cavs series. That was one.
Maybe this year Anthony Edwards.
No, I
But
mean
that's just one series.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Maybe.
the 69 Celtics with Bill Russell, but I mean I don't think Bill Russell had a great game 7.
FYI Sports Debate, there was no argument for him being Finals MVP in '91. That's just a ridiculous take. I'm sorry. When Jordan led in assists, steals, and points.
Now that was a double final,
And
right?
steals.
33-11. You think?
Let's put the link up. Let's see if
That is a
anybody
clown
else can
take.
come up.
Yeah, because you guys are not
I
really
want to hear the
winning.
clown show.
I mean,
Are you guys? No,
No, there wasn't.
Craig, are you conceding that LeBron James has overcome more than anybody
Yeah,
in here in the playoffs?
because his team sucks of the season. His team
Oh, and
that's the
Craig.
criteria.
that's the
Craig.
1-on-5. They're going to 1-on-5. Thank you, Craig, for admitting that. The
I'm just
1-on-5.
saying that's his criteria. Beat a team that had a better
It is
record than him.
1-on-5. Craig,
Not
I'm
a
just
big
want to prepare
record,
you,
just a
Craig.
better team.
So, Craig, I'm going to prepare you right now. They're going to come up and they're going to talk about that 91 Lakers, the Bull series. They're going to bring up the clown switching Pippen onto Magic argument in order to try to justify the Pippen MVP thing.
No,
Watch.
because we already disproved that
Johnny
didn't
Gill
happen.
That
Johnny
Exactly.
That's it.
That's not going to stop them from doing it.
No, but we
Watch.
already proved that didn't happen.
Yeah, Johnny did a whole
Bill
video.
Russell.
They didn't watch
Bill
that show?
Bill Russell has some great moments as well, where he has some game sevens where he had to step up and overcome some things. I think in '64, the finals against against Wilt Chamberlain, if I'm correct. Well, no, they won.
I don't care what Dr. J said. Well, look at the stats, dude. Bring it up.
I'm about to post a link. I'm about to post a link because y'all didn't do a good job. Even someone come and remotely close to LeBron.
All right, 19th was it? 19. Damn, I can't even look up 19. Damn, when did? Okay, maybe this time. No, maybe not even this series. Okay,
Let the clown takes commence it. I can't wait.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, anyways, y'all, thanks for joining us. It is the GOAT James.
Somebody got to be a clown for the obvious. For the obvious.
They're just saying.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
All right.
Don't be afraid to become a member of the channel, y'all.
Points, assists, steals, and blocks.
DJ Killer, let's go ahead and hear your take about a player that has overcome more than LeBron in the playoffs.
Are you there, DJ?
You on?
Come all the time. You have to be a loser to be.
All right, let's go ahead and go to Sturdy. Go ahead, Sturdy.
See everybody. Y'all,
Peace,
everybody. As usual, y'all stopping not to talk about point guard. We gotta give it the time, Steve. But I'm be straight with you. I know. Being familiar with this show, I know I can kind of. Somebody got echo. Johnny has tails when he trolls, right? But in general, like both sides are being disingenuous. And who the hell has an echo?
DJ Killer.
You cannot evaluate I don't care who the player is. You cannot evaluate a player's performance by box score stats alone. You do it by impact. So when Travis be disingenuous and say they was using the wrong series to say Kobe Bryant played better than Shaq because he led the series in three categories, that's completely disingenuous because we all know who the hell got that echo? It's a reverb, bro.
That's got coming from you because we don't hear it.
No, it's not from me.
It's not from you. So everybody mute themselves. So study.
Yo, so yeah, it's gone, Johnny. But the point is this, right? You can basketball. The better players determine who have the biggest impact on the game, and because of the impact, the opposing teams are game planning for a set impact. So be disingenuous to say, "Oh, Kobe Bryant had a better series than Shaq against the Spurs," when we all know the primary game plan was to slow down Shaq. Is completely disingenuous. Completely disingenuous. Second thing is too, and I'm surprised by the Jordan fans. They bring up this when they shouldn't bring up Jordan overcoming something. Why didn't you bring up overcoming the Magic, a team that he lost to? Matter of fact, he took it personal when he lost to the Magic in '95.
I said
to become a better player in '96.
Show I said that they didn't say that it count. You got to rewind the tape. They didn't.
No. That's why I said both sides being disingenuous because I'm going back and forth. Because the other side too, that being just because you're the second best player, don't mean you're not overcoming odds too.
The Bulls was a 72 win team. They were superior to the Magic. He didn't have to overcome the Magic. He was superior to them.
But
I don't hear that.
But B Lee, you're smarter than that. You know, team record alone does not, especially when it comes to the playoffs. No, but hold on, B Lee. You know, especially in basketball, especially when we're talking about playoffs. Regular season record is irrelevant to the matchups in the playoffs. Completely irrelevant.
But how do you overcome a team that you're just better than? That you didn't struggle against at all?
So
every game in the series.
No. So that makes sense because you have a specific example of an obstacle that you're overcoming. That makes sense, Johnny. But I'm saying it's disingenuous to judge teams by team record. It's disingenuous to judge teams by names and just box score stats. It's take away the important nuances of the game of basketball.
Well, Sturdy, like to add on to that, like it makes sense what you're saying, but the reason why they lost in '94 is because they didn't have Horace Grant. and that's a huge matchup problem as far as getting rebounds and holding, Shaq to a lesser average in the playoffs. When they got Rodman, it was a lot easier for them to beat Magic or to beat the Orlando Magic. So I don't really think that really counts as. I
No,
mean,
it does count. It does count for this reason alone. Because even when you look at Jordan's performances, he himself will tell you there was multiple key turnovers that he had in that series that he disliked. There was multiple shots that he missed that he felt that was better. You find interviews of him saying that himself. Another thing too, a lot of people forget. I can say the same thing about the Orlando Magic in '96. Because last time I checked, Horace Grant wasn't helping during that series either, which contributed to the Bulls' success too.
Yeah, but he didn't play that series. He got knocked out
No,
after game 2.
no, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So
No, but no,
it's
but the
not.
whole
It wasn't
argument.
just. It wasn't just. No, the point is this, right?
Uh huh.
When we and like, I'm not denying overcoming obstacles. Meaning it's a variety of things. It's not just based off expectations of team record and names. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all better than that.
No, we
Because
didn't do that.
even
No, we didn't do
Sturdy,
that.
Sturdy.
No, sorry.
Were you surprised that the Bulls beat the Magics?
I just told you. Oh, well, at that
No,
time
you were
I
not
was a
surprised.
kid,
Nobody was
so
surprised.
no,
But
I
no,
was a
but this
kid.
is
No, 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 no.
Was
Believe,
anybody
believe.
surprised that the Bulls beat the Magic? Nobody was. They were 72.
they were the favorites.
no, but the argument,
They were the,
that he's trying to, no, the argument he's trying to defend is Travis's argument about how Kobe is able to overcome something while we're telling him no because he had Shaq. So we're saying, so that's the argument. We're not talking about Kobe not having a chance to overcome. Are you telling us that because Kobe, whatever, and there was a moment in time during that span, that three-peat span that he had Shaq, that he had to overcome something with Shaq?
Johnny, you
Yeah,
should have
yeah. So
you
I
should
would
have
say,
said as the best
I would
player.
say,
You should have said as the best
no, no.
player.
I would say,
Well,
but
you
I'll say
don't have to
regardless,
say as the best
regardless.
player because
No, no, but
that's a
Johnny,
part of it.
but no, no. But I'm saying no. We don't have to be disingenuous to say because you're not the best player, you're not overcoming great odds. That affects your legacy. For example, even despite they were down that series against the Kings, both those guys had to overcome adversity. Shaq and Kobe. Just because Kobe was not the best player, don't mean he had not overcome adversity either. So they both had to overcome that. And I'll say another thing too against the Portland Trailblazers. Their first title run, they were down in that series too. There was multiple games they were down double digits. That's overcoming obstacles both guys had to up their performance to overcome. So I'm not just like because he was the best player, it don't count towards his legacy or a moment towards him overcoming.
That seems
That
weird
counts.
though. That seems weird though for a fan base like Kobe Bryant fans who love to talk about somebody being able to just do it on their own and being the bulldog or being the alpha, the Kobe mentality, the Mamba mentality, and you're here telling me that he had Shaq to help him overcome a lot of things.
And that's why you're not talking to a Kobe fan. You're talking to a logical
No,
fan.
no, I got
You're
you. But
talking to a fan.
we were talking to a Kobe fan. We were talking to Travis.
that's
I'm just being real. Craig, you on mute. Craig, you on mute. Craig.
I just
Yeah,
said,
but
the only reason
and I'm
why
being
he
long
brought
winded.
that
I'm
up
being long
because
winded.
I'm the
you
most
said find
unbiased Kobe fan there is.
you said find a series with Shaq that he played better in. That's what the whole original conversation was about.
no, the
Find a
reason
series
was what
because
series did he
wanted to mention
overcome while
he,
playing better than Shaq? That's what it was.
yeah, he
Not a
wanted to
series he
find.
played better than Shaq. That
Yeah,
has
and
nothing to do with what we're talking
he only
about.
got
I mean, if
2001.
you
So
how can you
No, and y'all.
overcome with Shaq if you don't play better than him? How come you can't say Kobe play if you don't think he played better?
I don't think Kobe ever outplayed Shaq. I just believe Kobe had easy opportunities because there is a Shaq on his team. Because everybody's focusing to stop Shaq. The game plan is built to get Shaq the ball. The game plan is built to stop Shaq on the other side of the ball. Kobe's just getting the
Now
residuals
apply
of
that
this.
logic to a 6'6" guard.
The same way Scottie
Nah, I
Pippen was
just
getting the residuals
Now
of
apply
Jordan's
that
30
logic
points
to
per
a
game.
6'6" guard.
No, I just
That's what
want
I
to say
see it
this
as.
because I was long with it. I was long with it. I just want to pass the mic with this right after I say this. Yes, definitely, it should definitely count if a player overcomes R, regardless if he's the best player or not. If you're part of that team, if you're a huge proponent of that championship success, and there's adversity in your path toward the championship, you overcome that. That shit would count regardless of who the player is, whether it's Pippen, Kobe, Shaq. It don't matter.
See, so
Wait,
that's what
That
we
should.
said.
Okay.
But when we
All
said
right, all right.
Pippen, they got mad.
So what series are okay, Sturdy? What series are you giving Kobe that he overcame to win a series with
He just
Shaq?
named
Oh,
two of them.
yeah, which yeah, no, I can do this whole career. The first one with Portland Trailblazers was the conference finals in 99 2000.
Okay.
The first championship run. That's overcoming. The second one too.
Portland
Another
and
thing
what else?
after hold on.
Yeah.
Another, I'm trying to go in chronological order. Just the big moments. Another one against the Pacers when coming back from injury after Jalen Rose undercut him. He still had to perform in overtime to help the Lakers secure that series when Shaq fouled out. That's still a moment to
Okay,
overcome.
okay, that's three. I mean, that's two. What's another one?
Okay, in 2000, what was it 2002? Yeah,
Yep.
2002 when they were down. Yeah, in 2002 when they were down against the Kings, he had to elevate his game. I believe since they pointed that down with help with the refs, of course,
Okay,
he
that's three.
still averaged nearly like 40 points per game from like I
That's
think
three.
game 3 and on.
So we
Okay.
put an
All right.
asterisk
So
on that one, right?
okay.
I just started
Anyone else in
2002, the
Kobe's
whole
career?
stretch.
Anyone else in Kobe's career?
Anyone else or
Uh,
you or any more moments?
2005.
I already gave you against the Celtics, probably against the Nuggets too. That was a tough
The
series. They were
Celtics and
lost, of
the
course.
Celtics and well, the Nuggets in 2009 and the Celtics in 2010. That's what you're saying.
Arguably one of the toughest series ever played. Sure.
Okay. What
Yeah, yeah.
else? Is that all five
That's that's
for
that's
Kobe?
that's pretty. Yeah, I'll top of my head. I can. The terms of major ones, there's like 5 or 6. They ain't
Yeah,
that
according to your
That
touches
criteria,
off
that's
my
that's
head.
more
major
than
ones.
that's more than Jeffrey.
Okay.
According to
That's
his
more than
criteria.
Jeffrey.
According to his
Listen,
criteria.
Okay. Five series. So Portland. It was definitely the most dominant player in that series was Shaq. The Pacers series, the most dominant player in the Pacers series was Shaq.
Didn't
So
that
right now
Portland team
we are
have the
down
best
to
record in the
three.
league?
Yeah.
No,
So right
so
now
once
we are down to three. So
no, but
2009,
why is it
2009.
disqualified because Kobe wasn't the best player? Why is that disqualified?
Yeah, because he wasn't the main catalyst of that team. So in 2009,
What?
they didn't have to overcome Denver. The Lakers were a better team than Denver. So you're down to two. 2010, I would give you that because they were down 3 games to 2, and the Kings. I'm gonna give you the Kings because of the refs. So in all, I would give Kobe 2 times in his postseason career. He had to overcome to win a series.
But didn't the refs help the Lakers?
I'm gonna
No,
just
but it's
give
still the
they
Lakers. The
keep
Lakers
saying
still
they
had the
keep
Lakers
saying
still had the Lakers still had to win in Game 7.
That was
They still
arguably
had
one
to
of
do
the best series ever. Love that series. 2002 Kings
Yeah, but
were
the
like
refs,
Hey,
the
that's
refs
cool. That's
helped.
cool. I'm gonna give
Kings shot more free throws,
Kobe
John.
2 of
That
them.
entire series.
That's 30. All right. Let's go ahead to who came in next. New World. You came in next.
Hey, what's up, man?
All right, what's good? So just going on by we named like 6 or 7 things for LeBron series that he had overcome. What player are you gonna put up to rival what LeBron did in the playoffs?
To rival LeBron, that's really difficult. Um, I did agree with Lamont earlier when he said Bill Russell, because outside of what was going on, during the NBA, like the championships and whatnot, he's also dealing with the racial issues and segregation at that time. So if you're including off the court stuff, I think him and Kareem probably have had pressure similar to what LeBron has had to deal with in his career with the social media and whatnot. Obviously, it's different, but you know, with the time period, we can kind of speculate as to how much bullshit Kareem and Bill Russell had to go
Yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Off the court is different. So let's just stick to on court. On
on
court.
court, on court, nobody. That man is the king of the playoffs. You can't compare
Right.
nobody to him in his postseason runs as far as overcoming. Like maybe people have overcome a few, but just the sheer number of series that LeBron has had to overcome in the playoffs, it's hard to really find anybody comparable to that.
Okay. I agree with you 100%. All right, Lamont, let's go ahead. Go ahead and try to educate the panel on
Man, look,
who
this
rivals
is
LeBron.
well, no, well, I think y'all. This is a setup question because I think y'all know playoff wise, nobody really rivals LeBron. Especially now that See, I like the fact that people like T Perfect, they like to align themselves with stats when it's convenient. Like you said with Jordan versus the Lakers, that was very convenient to run off Jordan's numbers to say that's why Jordan won the Finals MVP when I think you guys forget that the Finals MVP is just a 7-game award. And there have been many times in NBA history when that award's been given to the most impactful player, not the guy with the best stats. We can go
Here
to
comes
Wes.
Craig.
We can go to a guy like Wes Unseld. Wes Unseld was the third best player on the team, 9 points a game, won Finals MVP. Andre Iguodala was not the best player on the team, won the Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard averaging 15 points a game, the most impactful player though, won the Finals MVP. We can go through the list of all of the players in NBA. Cedric Maxwell, definitely not the best player on the Celtics, won the Finals MVP. Joe Dumars definitely was not better than Isaiah Thomas. He still won Finals MVP. James Worthy won Finals MVP in '88. So what I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is, so when I say, so it's crazy how it's okay for those guys to win Finals MVP, but when it comes time to give Scottie Pippen just a little bit of credit, and the argument arises that he could have been Finals MVP in 1991, the Jordan fans they panties get caught up in the bunch. They start running the numbers and stats, and they forget about what was happening in the moment in that particular series. And no, T Perfect, it had nothing to do with Scottie Pippen, that the narrative that Scottie Pippen guarded Magic, because Phil Jackson made it clear he only used Scottie Pippen in very spot moments to help Jordan out, because Jordan was the primary defender on Magic. But Scottie Pippen changed that series, not just with his increase in point production, but his ability to defend multiple positions, switching from Magic to James Worthy to even Byron Scott. So what I'm saying is the most impactful player in that series, it could be argued that it was Scottie Pippen. Of course, we all know that Jordan was the best player on that team, but the NBA Finals MVP award a lot of times doesn't go to the best player on the team. It goes to the most impactful player. So I think Jordan fans
96 as well. 96 as well.
Jordan fans get caught up in their panties get caught up in the bunch when you say Pippen did something better than Michael Jordan. I think 96, 91 was some series, even some of the series versus the New York Knicks, it could be argued that Pippen was more impactful. No, it does not mean Pippen was a better player. It just means in that moment, he might have had a better stretch of games, just like against the Blazers in that game 6. Who was the most impactful player in that game? T Perfect might run to Jordan's 30-plus points. A lot of people might argue with Scottie Pippen, who led that bench unit. They were down 15 points, and he led the comeback by himself with the bench players. That Jordan even said after the game, that was the most impactful. He was the most impactful player. Huh?
You mean Kobe?
No, I'm talking about 92 when Jordan got benched and Pippen led the comeback when they were down versus the Blazers.
Yeah,
the thing is, hold on. We sat there and watched Magic Johnson win the Finals MVP off one game. Kareem dominated statistically that series.
Agreed.
But because Magic was impactful in that game when Kareem was out, he won the Finals MVP. He was not the best player on that team. So let's not get caught up whenever people say that somebody outclassed Jordan in some particular instance, y'all get all riled up as if it's going to affect his GOAT narrative. Jordan's okay. He's going to be in that GOAT narrative still, just because LeBron or just because of Pippen or just because somebody does something better than him at one particular time. It does not take any notches off his GOAT conversation. That's where y'all get to go sat from. So T Perfect, don't fall into that narrative. Don't fall into the narrative where you running the stats to save Michael Jordan, because what's going to happen is, when you get into one of these arguments about LeBron James, they're going to run the stats. And if you start playing with stats with LeBron and Michael Jordan, you're going to get severely outclassed, because LeBron basically outclasses every player in NBA history statistically. So again, don't use stats when it just to try to paint a picture, when that's not how the NBA Finals MVP award was ever given out. It's never given out based on stats. It's always been given out based on impact. And y'all forget about Scottie Pippen's impact. That's what y'all forget about. Y'all, when they were talking about Scottie Pippen doesn't get the same credit that Kobe does, because you heard this guy Craig, he kept talking about points. Kobe scored points. Y'all forget about Pippen's his impact had a lot to do with things where he didn't even get where he was passing the ball, where he was facilitating offense, where he was defending. He did a lot of things that there was no statistical running measurement to count. So he don't get credit for it. That's why the 90s stupidly never gave him a defensive player of the year, because he wasn't a 7-foot center that could go get 5 blocks a game. And there was no running tally that accumulated to show you guys how good he was defensively. So
Peyton won it in 96.
Yeah, but what did he do? He led the league in steals, and there was a narrative award because of what? The Seattle Supersonics was the most entertaining team in the league. And then y'all shit on Gary Payton when he got dominated by Jordan in the NBA Finals.
Or second best. No, I'm not. I agree with you.
No.
you can't always measure impact based on stats 100%. That's why I think Iguodala totally. I mean, it's because he held LeBron slightly below his average when he was guarding him. I think he still robbed Curry that season or that
Don't matter.
series. But
They don't win that series
argument you can
without
make that Pippen was.
Iguodala. That's the fact.
There's no
That's why
argument
he
you can
won
make
the
that Pippen
award.
was the most impactful player. He wasn't guarding the best player. Worthy was lighting him up defensively.
No, see what you're doing is you're running. See, that's why I like playing the old games, because when you play the old games, you actually listen to what was said in the moment. If you read the newspaper clippings to hear what was being talked about in the moment, then you see the impact. See, you trying to regurgitate the impact, and when I just watched the entire series, when I heard what the announcers were saying, when I saw the flow of the game, when I saw the no, he was the better player. He was not the more impactful player. Two different things.
Sure, he was.
So again, you're running total stats. The player that really changed the ties of that series, that gave the Bulls an edge, was Scottie Pippen. That's who that player that changed things.
Not Mike shooting 31% on 50 or 31 points on 55% shooting, leading the team in assists, steals, and blocks.
But you're running into these stats. You're running into these stats. That's not what I said. Made Pippen impactful.
Hey Travis, who led the Bulls in points and rebounds in the closeout game?
Okay, so you could say that AD was by far the most impactful player defensively, right, in 2020 finals.
Yes, in 2020, if AD doesn't get hurt, he was the most impactful player in that series. So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of times where the most impactful player is not the leader in stats.
Sure, but you can
I'm talking about the Finals MVP award. It's okay for somebody to say that maybe Pippen should have won one or two of those because he was more impactful in that particular 5 or 6 game stretch.
You can say that.
I think nobody talked about 98 enough before he got hurt. I think his impact was crazy in 98 before he hurt his back.
I agree. That's why that's why he was top 10 in MVP voting in 98 still, even though he played less than 50 games, because when he was on the court, he was unbelievably good. Even though people like to run around and act like he was out the whole year and he was no good and he was injured, he was still giving you the same production with a bad back.
Also, I just think it's crazy because they run the stats, but Pippen that led in all the stats except for scoring in one of those finals and still didn't get the finals MVP. So just running the stats is not a good argument when it comes to impact.
Well, I'm just talking about the 7-game award. I think what y'all done is y'all given so much value to Finals MVP because Jordan has 6 of them, when it's really not that impressive of an award because it's only a 7-game award. It's really not that impressive.
It's the least credible award.
So what I'm saying is y'all be bloviating it, and then when we say another player should have earned it, you go crazy. No, it should have been Jordan. No, Jordan was right. No. It's okay that he wasn't as impactful.
If another player doesn't win it, but you got to come with more than just I think he was most impactful. Like by what measurement? You're just saying he could guard.
No, what my argument? I only made it. I know Jordan won it. My only argument was Pippen had a case to win it too. Just like Steph Curry had a case to win it when Andre Iguodala won it. Just like other players had. Just like Magic had a case when James Worthy won it. Just like Kareem had a case when Magic won it. Yeah, other people have cases.
So basically, what Sturdy and Lamont are saying is that, since you guys want to say Kobe could overcome certain series, no matter if he was the better player.
No, I didn't say nothing about no Kobe overcoming.
No, because this is what the whole argument started with Scottie Pippen, because the idea was that I brought up Scottie Pippen to say, well, then if we can let Kobe have this overcoming moments for the playoffs, we should have the same ones for Scottie. And you guys are saying that's also true.
And hey, Johnny, this is what I just said. The reason why they don't know how to give Scottie credit is because a lot of the things that Scottie did great, just like T Perfect fella, there ain't no running total stat that lets them know he was great. Defense don't really get rewarded. Great defenders, great playmakers really don't get rewarded. This is why they'll say Kobe. They'll just say Kobe was able to overcome because he could score 28 points right with Shaq, even though he took 29, 30 shots. And Shaq might only took 15 to 17. So
don't mention the shots. Don't mention the amount of shots being there. Don't mention the shots.
Y'all only look at points. A lot of people only care about the points. They don't care about the entire game. You defend far more than you play offense. You're on defense way more than you're on offense in a basketball game. And to knock a guy like Scottie Pippen, who was elite on that end of the floor, and act like he didn't overcome humongous obstacles, like in 1998 when he was injured. Man, it must be crazy.
No one's knocking Scottie Pippen.
He overcame. he
Mike fans
overcame,
do.
if not more. He
You're
might have
acting
overcame
like
more than
we are
Scotty.
knocking
No,
him
but the
and
moments.
discrediting
I
him.
mean,
A lot of
I
people
don't.
do though.
Let's move on, guys. Let's
Hey,
move
Johnny,
on.
hey, my fault, my fault. Just to
Ishmael
clarify,
hasn't had a chance to say anything yet about the topic, so let's go ahead and
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
Ishmael in there, and then the DJ Killer, so everybody have a chance to say what they had to say.
Hey y'all. I don't think I really like this type of question because it kind of sets up some slander for LeBron James, in my opinion. Like if we're gonna give like credit for LeBron overcoming situations, then I guess we gotta give some L's for LeBron for losing in situations that he should have won. I guess. I just don't think I really like like the question because it kind of sets up the slander, and it is set up in
What,
a way
what
like
situation are you talking about with LeBron that he should have won that he lost?
He only could be talking about 2011.
No, 28
no.
too.
No, I
No,
would say
2009
I
was
would
the
say
only
yeah,
series.
I would say that it's more favorable in terms of he probably should have went to the finals, even though he played well against in 2009 against Orlando. I think they should have won that. They were the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think
Yeah,
uh,
that series to understand why they lost that series. All you had to do was
So
watch that
his
series.
average
But
reporting
no,
is
no,
See,
but
the
30,
record don't count now.
I
The
watched
record
the
don't
series.
count
I
now.
definitely
Uh-oh.
The
I
record
remember
don't
that.
count now. Now all of a sudden the record don't count. Now you
no,
gotta
because
go
the
about
point.
what the team did in that
No, the
See,
point
yeah,
is
series.
see,
this.
like
No,
that's what I'm
but you
saying.
guys
Like,
are missing the
See what
point
I
from the
mean?
The
beginning.
sturdy
Wait.
said records
Hold on,
don't
wait,
mean
hold on, wait.
nothing though.
We sat here. Hold on, wait, guys. We sat here and
see,
gave
I'm
y'all
trying to be objective.
examples. No, wait. We gave y'all examples of LeBron James being in a position where he was about to lose or was supposed to lose, but he overcame that by having a spectacular moment. So
Detroit.
when we brought up Detroit in 2007, him scoring 25 straight points in the fourth quarter in the game 5 is a part of him overcoming that because that's something that was needed. The 2012, you're down 3-2, you're going into Boston. He goes in there and gives you 45 points and lights it up and dominates the entire game. These were the examples that were given. We brought up 2018. I believe that was another one that we brought up. So these are the examples that we're giving up. You guys are avoiding all of this because there's no other players that we can use to say, well, it was because of like Magic overcoming something. You losing your big man. It's a game 6. You step up. You give a big performance. Where is these performances from Kobe and Michael is where the argument starts. Because
Well, you can go to
we don't
98 when he
have this.
scored 45
We
in
don't
game
have
6.
this with these goals.
You can go to
These guys.
Utah in
No.
98 when he scored half the team points.
On 35 shots.
So
But okay.
what?
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is that I
Wait,
just think
what
that
did he overcome in 1998? Where were the Bulls struggling ever in any playoff series for you to say that Michael Jordan had
Oh,
to
my bad. Yeah, the
overcome
Goats
something?
don't struggle in the finals. My
Never-
See,
bad.
there you go.
never-
See, look, there we
never-
go.
My
There we
As a
go.
team,
Because
as a
because
team, the
your
Bulls
goat
never
when he
beat
struggles,
them.
he just quits. When he's up
Come on.
2-1 and he's up 2-1 and he loses 2 straight games and go down 3-2, he just quits. When he's down
But
2-0, he just quits. He doesn't
hey,
yeah.
Johnny,
fight
can I say
hard.
this? Can I say this real quick? But I do think, hey, Johnny, it's kind of restrictive to say overcome is only down when you're in a series. When there's a number of obstacles that you could occur in a series that you can overcome. For example, the recent example, even though the Nuggets won this series of 5 against the Lakers, they were down in every single game, double digits. That's overcoming adversity. Last time I checked, if you're down double digits in the game, you have to overcome that to win. I would consider that overcome adversity, even though they was never down in the series.
Okay,
I don't.
see,
It's
like,
garbage
okay,
scam.
And wait,
Go ahead, Ishmael. Continue, Ishmael. Go ahead,
why
Ishmael.
was,
Okay, so
why was
like,
Cleveland down?
what is the type of criteria for this? Can it be does it have to be a
You gotta
playoff
lose-
series?
you
Can
gotta
it be a
lose
playoff
early.
Yes,
run?
it's overcoming. It's overcoming struggles
We're
in the
overcoming
playoffs.
Yeah.
factors.
So LeBron overcame his own struggles in that Detroit series. A game 1, 10 points. Game 2, 19 points. Come on. You're not going to see like when we're holding this like why was he struggling because he sucked balls in a lot of these series that he overcame.
And when we say that, and when we say that for 1988, when Jordan goes
Just
up
like in
and
2008.
he splits the series 2-1, 1-1, and he gives you 23 points, 24 points, and 25 points, and the Bulls lose 3 straight games.
Oh, sorry. Is that 10 points on fucking 30% shooting?
It doesn't
Travis,
matter.
I think
It doesn't
Travis,
matter. It's
I think
LeBron
you're
it's
didn't
too.
a
shoot as much as
underperformance by
Jordan.
Jordan. No one says Jordan played great, scoring 23
melting
points.
down in 2008
No
versus the
one
Celtics
says
up.
Jordan played great, scoring
When you're up
23
2-1.
points.
And
And then you
hold on,
melt
hold
down
on.
and you score 19 points.
Hold
Like,
on.
again,
Let me
35%
ask you.
shooting.
Hey, Johnny, my question would be.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
My question would be, why is LeBron even in this conversation? T Perfect.
because they brought him up. What do you think?
No,
happens
hold
every
on. T
night
Perfect.
league?
But T Perfect. Let's say that they didn't bring him up. Does LeBron belong in this conversation?
Of what? What conversation?
When we talking about some of the greatest players to overcome tough obstacles in the postseason, does LeBron belong in the conversation?
Sure.
Now, LeBron belongs in the conversation because you've ran through basketball reference and nitpicked the bad games, or is he in this conversation because of the crazy number of great performances in great games?
I didn't see where your question is relevant.
So what
to
I'm
anything
saying
that I've
is,
said.
what I'm saying is, you
Because you
just
brought
went
up
down the
his
road. What I'm
performance
saying,
in the first
you just
game.
went down the road of nitpicking.
No, I'm adding context.
What? No,
Besides
what
going
I'm
down the
no,
road.
what I just said was you just went down the road of nitpicking LeBron's worst games.
Nitpicking?
Hold on.
The
But
series you were harping on.
you've literally etched his bad games into your memory so you can recall them and have conversations like this when LeBron is in
No.
this conversation because he has 10 times the amount of great games.
No, that's
For every
sure.
Lamar,
bad
he
playoff
proved
game
our
that LeBron
point.
has.
He's
Lamar.
proving our point. He scored 10 points in game 1. They lost. He didn't play good in game 2. They lost. He had to overcome that by playing great in game 5.
technically that will be
Michael Jordan.
overcoming adversity.
Exactly. Michael
Yeah.
Jordan had 2 straight games where he put 23 and 24 points.
And Scottie
Where was he
Pippen.
overcoming at?
Yeah.
He was
Where did
also
he show up
shooting.
at?
I think he was averaging like 10 plus free throws. He shot like over 70 free throws in
It doesn't
'98.
matter.
So
He's struggling. His team is down 3-1. He gave you 2 straight bad games. Did Michael Jordan overcome that? No.
So Lamont, here's the thing. I'm not discrediting. I'm not saying LeBron is. He doesn't have a huge number of games where he had to overcome things. Like we talked about that like for the first hour, 100%. But when you sit here and talk about like everything he had to overcome and it has no context, some of that is his own doing. Like for example, when he's playing poor, like and then he comes back, sure. And we're knocking I have a problem with that because we're knocking some of the greats, as you heard. Because like Kobe, things like that, because they never had to overcome or dig themselves out of a hole.
No, because they never overcame their
basketball,
struggles. They struggled and they lost. When they struggled, they just
we're-
lost. They never
we're
overcame
knocking them
anything.
because they
But
played
what
great.
y'all forget
like when
is
they swept
that-
the Spurs, right?
What y'all
When they swept
forget
the
is
Spurs,
that
They didn't struggle against the Spurs.
exactly.
But T Perfect, when you're dealing with star players, generally they have to overcome circumstances or problems that they created themselves because they're the stars. So a lot of times when Jordan had to overcome,
What?
a lot of times. So what I'm saying is when we talk about players having to overcome, they usually put themselves in these situations where they have to overcome a whole bunch of obstacles because of, just like a Johnny mentioned, past poor performances where they now have to, okay, get that out your memory. You got to perform better. This is Kobe did it a ton. Kobe would do that a ton, but have bounced
Agreed.
back. Jordan did it a ton. When he shoots 3 for 19 and shoots these crazy low percentages in the playoffs, and then he has these big bounce back games. So again, you counter everything. The best way to counter a Johnny is just to counter it with Jordan's overcoming moments, which it seems like you're struggling to do because you're just so hyper focused on LeBron's bad games.
No
But they
one's
don't know
hyper-focused.
Jordan's
LeBron, you
career.
have selective
They
hearing.
don't. They don't.
You have
They
very
don't.
selective hearing.
They don't.
I
They
brought
brought up
up the
93.
98
They did bring up
finals, and
93.
what I said,
I
Again,
brought up
25
at least
shots.
4 or 5
No, you
Jordan
brought up
series and
93.
playoff runs.
They brought up 93. They brought up 1991 against Detroit, which we was like, okay, we can't bring up Detroit because they swept Detroit. They never really
I brought up
struggled
93,
against
98,
Detroit.
97.
And listen, every time Jordan struggled, he lost. That's just it.
No, he
So they're
didn't.
mad.
His worst playoff series was arguably 96. They won in the finals. Like,
More reason why
Oh,
Scottie Pippen should be
they
MVP.
still have the
But
best team.
but you know what it is, they Johnny.
95 was his worst.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
You know what it is, they Johnny?
Listen, anyway,
No. You know what it is, they Johnny? Is like the Bulls great team, great dynasty don't get enough credit for the times when Jordan underperformed and the team stepped up. For example, and when it was going against your Heat, right, in '97, and Jordan was having a atrocious scoring series, the team still won in 5 games because of the efforts defensively. when Lamont brought up a moment earlier when Jordan was deviating from the offense, resulting in the Bulls being down double digits. Scottie Pippen led the comeback, and of course Jordan closed it out. That's due to Jordan scoring, but Scottie Pippen don't get that credit. They're the only dynasty in NBA history that don't get that credit as a team.
No,
They don't. We don't remember those moments.
The problem is this.
And Jordan fans clearly don't either.
Jordan averaged 27 points per game against the Sonics. He struggled. They won. So we can use that to fit their narrative of the argument. But when he averaged 27 and lose, he didn't struggle. Do you understand the problem?
Yeah.
Do you
yeah.
understand? Now, do you understand my
contradiction.
problem? It's all contradiction.
contradiction.
It all started because, again, they don't know Michael Jordan's career. It's easy to say Michael Jordan's an apex predator and never struggled. That's why he's the GOAT. But it's hard to sit back and look at it objectively and say, damn, there were times Jordan did struggle and his team helped him win. But that's not Jordan overcoming anything, because where is the great moment? Where's the game 6 against the Boston Celtics? Where's the game 5?
The game 6 in '98 in Utah, 45 fucking points.
But they weren't struggling in that series. They're
No. Hey Johnny, that's nothing too. Hold on, Johnny, you gotta stop that. They were struggling. Like that's the thing. Everybody does have definition of struggle. Even though they were up in that series, during '98, especially for Game 6, a lot of expectations that regard the Bulls don't get it done tonight. They're most likely gonna lose the series because of the health of Scottie Pippen, because of what everything else that was going on with that team, and Dennis Rodman too.
And the refs
overcoming
too.
adversity.
Don't forget about the refs.
That's overcoming adversity. And I'll say the same thing too. Hold on.
It's not
Hold on. I said
adversity.
a better thing. I said a better thing. Hold on, hey Johnny.
We
Hey Johnny, I said a better thing.
Adversity. We're talking about playoff moments where you overcame. You had an overcoming moment in that playoffs. The Bulls being.
I gave another one. I believe it was Game 5. I believe it was Game 5. I believe it was Game 5, or was it '93 against the Knicks? One of those Knicks series when they were down 0-2.
No, they were down 0-2
We talked about how
against the Knicks. We said
Scottie
that.
played well.
We talked
Scottie Pippen played great at Game 3, but also Jordan played great at Game 4.
Yeah, because Jordan scored like 50 points in Game 4. Jordan went ham Game 4. He went ham in Game 5. The Bulls won 4 straight games. They beat the Knicks 4-2, I believe, in that series, if I'm correct.
No, 7. That was 7. That was 7 games. That was 7 games.
That was 7 games.
Do they have to have a series that they're struggling in?
They did.
No, that's a moment that we accepted that Jordan overcame. We never said Jordan didn't overcome it.
Yeah,
we accepted it.
We gave that to
We
Jordan.
gave that to Jordan. We just said that he didn't have
We gave
as
him
much
the
as
Cavs as well.
LeBron. We just said he didn't have as much as LeBron. We
What
gave
if
him the
they're the
Cavs series.
underdogs? What if they're the underdogs coming into the playoffs? Like, is that, and they end up winning the whole thing? Could that be a
Bulls were
a
never
moment of
underdogs.
overcoming something, or
No,
it has
no.
to be a
When was
Israel, they
this?
have to be down like 0-2 or 3. And they
I
have
heard
to
you chatting on here.
Pistons
Right,
winning.
you
Yeah.
can lose
This is
early on in
Yeah,
the
it's-
series and then make a miraculous
No,
comeback.
Ishmael. Hold on. By the criteria that B least put, that's one of the criteria, like being down to that degree. In my opinion,
Okay.
you can still face adversity even during a game. If my team overcomes double digits in a game, we overcame adversity.
I mean,
okay,
nobody
so
brought up
if,
game.
all right,
the
so
choice-
if,
I mean,
if they
if
have,
they-
if they're the underdogs in the playoff series, but they're winning games like 4-1 and 4-0 and stuff like that, are they considered to be overcoming? So even though they're the underdogs,
Yes.
Nah. Because the
What?
underdogs.
It just depends. No, it just depends. It just depends.
No. Because the underdogs is
I heard
basically
some
based on
chatting
betting,
earlier,
right?
by the way.
If what's up, Ralph? Thanks for joining us. The point
What's
of
up,
the idea was we didn't say LeBron, because in reality the Heat was favored, I think, against Boston in 2012.
Because they were
No.
all beat up.
Wait, hold on. Was it?
2012 it was Boston because Bosh was out.
Yeah. That's what I remember. Like I don't think they was favored. Not 20, not 24.
And Boston
we
was
didn't-
see, that's what I'm trying to
before.
see.
Yeah,
If
no,
it's
And that's why you can't go off names. You got to go off the context of the situation that happened.
But we never really brought up favorites. We brought up the idea of being down or being in a struggling situation.
Okay.
Like you understand what I'm saying? Well, here is a moment in time. Everybody's looking at you and saying, "What are you going to do?" Like this is your moment. This is your time. This is your span. 2006 was one of those moments. You understand what I'm
Okay,
trying to say?
I see what you're
2000
saying.
Yeah.
Overcoming
Yeah,
adversity
that's
in
like
the process.
saying that Heat overcame the Thunder because the Thunder was the favorite. No, the Heat dominated the Thunder. That's
Okay, I
not
got
the
you.
rule.
All
They
right.
were hold on, believe they were down 0-1. They were down 0-1, so we're
and
not.
mind you,
know what
the
I'm saying?
criteria has to include the
Dirty.
great playoff
0-1.
performance as well. So it has to include the great playoff performance because we're
Bulls
talking
was down
about
0-1 in '98 to Utah. They didn't.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I'm just being petty. I'm just being petty.
That type of thing eliminates a lot of players.
Nobody
teams.
brought up 98 the Indiana Pacers series where the Bulls had to go 7 games
It's
and Jordan played
crazy
a
nobody
phenomenal.
brought that up. It's
A
crazy.
phenomenal.
Nobody brought
That's
Why I came
Oh,
into
that
the
was Steve
panel. I
Kerr
was
that
getting ready to
overcame.
bring that up.
Steve Kerr overcame and closed that game out. No. That was Steve Kerr.
Well,
For sure.
maybe Ralph can save you guys because I know Ishmael.
Ain't no
Were you done,
statement. Y'all
Ishmael?
got these criteria.
It's like
that only
Gibson
fit
scored
your
31
guys.
points.
I wanted to
The
I wanted
Spurs.
to
Oh, no,
address
he
the
wasn't down.
blasphemous of saying
No.
Scotty could have
This,
won it.
every
Finals
time we
MVP.
brought up something,
Right?
he
Ralph, help
wasn't
me out,
down,
dude.
or he
Okay,
did this.
Ralph,
So
Ralph,
don't
you
give
say-
us
you
that
say-
save us. It's your criteria is only fit your guy.
Yeah, it does. Of course, it's Gold James Kingdom. That's what we
Yeah,
did.
because your guy always loses early.
What criteria should be
LeBron,
You don't know how to feel to be up
Let us
1-0 in
know.
the series.
Let us know that the criteria should be. We're listening. We're listening.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Don't lose. Don't lose.
What
Is what he's
happened?
saying. Just
I mean,
don't
Lamont
lose
is
in the finals.
Lamont is right
Craig,
though.
no,
This
no,
kind of question
no,
is set up.
Ralph,
in
hold on,
favor of
Ralph,
James,
Ralph.
though.
Hold on for a second.
Huh?
Hold on for a second. First, before Ralph go, let's give Craig the criteria for overcoming in the playoffs, so Ralph could answer this better.
No, he going to
Because
answer
he
it
said
the way
that
your
this criteria only fits
is.
LeBron.
We ain't going to change it up now. We've been arguing about your criteria for an hour and a half. We ain't going to do another hour on mine.
So Ralph, you got to be honest and you got to be honest and say
Ralph.
that the reason why I said this was a setup question for LeBron is because LeBron has played against the most significant competition in the postseason, far superior than what we saw in the 90s, far superior to what those guys went through in the 80s and 70s. So what I'm saying is he's overcome more. The reason why it's a setup question because LeBron's not only played 20 years, but he's played against some of the craziest competition ever in the playoffs, which again, it could be argued. I don't want to say y'all can take it for it. Jordan has some of the weakest competition in the finals ever. You know, it could be argued that Magic. It could be argued that Magic played in one of the weakest Western conferences ever. Like, I mean, look,
it was definitely
I
the
wouldn't say
weakest.
the weakest. But,
Yes, like
it-
that.
it-
A lot
it-
of people don't know that.
the reason
A
why
lot of people don't know the
Hold on.
history.
I'm
They
not
don't know
gonna
the
say
history.
y'all struggling to
Ralph
find these
has
moments
another.
'cause
Ralph
he
has
had no
another
count.
angle. No, Ralph has another
It
angle.
said
Ralph.
Jordan's finals opponents had the same win-loss record as LeBron's final losses. So don't go here with that competition.
I'm not going to say
Jordan's
Hey, hold on.
competition
Hey,
was
so
nothing.
Ralph,
Greg, that's not true either. Greg, that's not true either.
Hey,
I'm
can I
not
ask you a
What you
question?
just said isn't true either.
So does win-loss record make you a
Now let's let
They
Ralph
just
go.
both- they
Let's
both
let
got
Ralph
part
the
of
go.
it, but
win-loss
it's not
record
the
in
end all
finals.
be all.
Hold
They
on. So
both
does
got
your
it in the
win-loss
finals.
record make you just as good of a team?
They got
It's
the
not the
same
end all
record.
be all,
They had to do it in the
but
finals.
it has something to do.
Hey,
A
so
little bit.
Brandon,
Go James Kingdom.
So Brandon,
So
did,
if
60-win Atlanta Hawks.
LeBron,
was weak, then
60-win
LeBron
Atlanta
was a
Hawks
weak
team should
competition.
have went to the finals.
so Brandon, did Daniel Gibson overcome the Detroit Pistons in Game 7 when he scored 31 points and LeBron had another dud, shooting 27%?
Yes, if Kobe overcame Shaq scoring
Yes.
27 and
Yes.
13,
Give it to
So
Boogie
he had
Gibson.
3 games shooting sub 30 and scoring under 20 points a game.
There you go with
Fantastic.
shooting the sub 30. You're right. He
So-
shot sub
and
30,
his-
but he won.
basically
Did he
his
win the
team carried him.
series? Did he win the series shooting sub 30?
You're right. He won the series, but he didn't know
Okay.
about shit.
Okay, then. So
Hey,
okay, that's
who
fine.
was the most impactful person in that series, Travis?
Daniel Gibson, Game 7. Let's
All
go.
right. Yeah, okay. All right.
You know,
Now,
Don't be
go ahead,
perfect.
go,
You know
Ralph.
Jordan's the king of
Hey,
sub
it's
30.
impactful, right?
I-
Stats mean nothing.
Oh, wait,
right?
no, stats don't mean nothing because when I told you Scottie Pippen scored 32 points and 13 rebounds in Game 5 of 1991 Finals, you're going to still say Michael Jordan was more impactful.
No, 100%. Let's go.
The whole
Daniel
series,
Gibson
yeah.
averaged 20
The whole
points a game
series,
on better
Jordan
shooting.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
Travis.
No, he's not talking about-
Let
he's
Ralph
saying-
go. Come on, let's let Ralph go.
Yeah, go ahead, Ralph.
If we're talking about as far as the finals, I mean, I wouldn't say
No,
Jordan.
we're talking about the playoffs.
I mean, the whole
Here
playoffs.
comes
I
sports
mean,
talk. Come on.
overall,
sports.
if we're talking about the playoffs and the finals all together,
We're talking about the playoffs. The playoffs, the finals is including the playoffs.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking
And
about the playoffs.
I do. As far as competition, Jordan does have the slight edge throughout the whole thing. Now, the finals, yes, that's LeBron. LeBron does have the superior competition.
How are we talking about competition now? How did we get to competition?
Wait,
Well, I heard
let-
competition.
Let's
Because
get
your
to those
competition-
moments.
Because your
Wait,
competition
Ralph,
brews the
wait,
Wait,
moments.
Ralph said that he had a take on the Pippen MVP thing.
Yeah,
that was
Pippen.
Oh yeah, that was blasphemous. I don't know how you gonna argue that Pippen could have got a Finals MVP. I don't understand that.
Gary
Why
Payton
can't-
said
why
he
can't I
should
argue
have.
it?
Gary
That's
Payton
LeBron,
said he
dude.
should.
Hold on,
Lamar,
let
Lamar,
Ralph let Ralph
that's
let Ralph cook a little
directed
bit.
towards
Let Ralph cook a little
I'd
bit.
agree with that.
that's directed toward FYF debate sports. Sir, please
Gary
answer the
Payton
question.
said, Gary
That's
Payton
So hold
said
on,
realistic
Scottie
Ralph. Why
Pippen was
can't I
the best
argue it?
attacker
Because
in
it's stats.
'96.
because
You can
it would be
argue.
one like you brought the example like with the Andre Iguodala. If you look at the
I
what
use
Steph
more than
Curry
Andre
did,
Iguodala.
hold on. I'm just addressing that one particular thing, and also James Worthy. When you see Magic in them,
Wes Unseld,
they Wes
Magic Johnson,
Unseld,
and Joe Dumars,
yeah, Joe Dumars.
Tony
But if you
Parker.
look
Tony
at
Parker.
the
I can Kawhi
prior,
Leonard. I can go down the list.
I'm saying if you look at the
Huh?
prior series with all of them,
No,
they
no.
they
Finals MVP
they
is just Finals MVP.
oh my gosh,
It's
can I
7 games. It ain't what you did
I,
Let
prior.
Lamar, let Lamar,
no,
let him get it
let me
in. Let him get him
finish.
in. Let
Let
him
me
get
go
him in. You
next.
What
ain't
I
I'm
got
got a
to
saying,
player. I got a
Yeah,
player.
yeah. No, hold on, wait.
what
Let Ralph
what I'm
finish, and then we're gonna let Lamont respond, and everybody will get a
what
chance,
I'm
please.
saying, what I'm saying with those players, with the anomaly now, I'm going to say the West Unseld that was you're right about that one. But the other ones, if you look at the year, the series prior to that, they played better in the conference finals. When he got to the finals, the players that got the MVP, they elevated their game to where the best players on those teams did not. They went down, such as like Steph Curry and Magic. They didn't elevate it as high as the players that got the MVP. That's the reason why they got those MVPs.
It's not true. And then it
Yes, it
depends
is
on,
true.
and it also
Steph
depends
Curry,
on
That's definitely not true.
yes,
what
yes,
do
it
you
is.
define? So what do you define as elevating?
Like,
Points?
I'm gonna give you the example.
Yeah.
In 2016, when you seen Steph Curry in that Western Conference Finals, he was balling. He said, "I'm back, I'm back." He was hooping, and then when he got to the finals, he did not perform as well as he did in the Western Conference Finals. To where when you see Andre Iguodala, he elevated his game in the finals and he showed the impact. That's the reason why he
Hey,
got that
Ralph,
Finals
who had
MVP.
better stats, Steph Curry or Andre Iguodala?
Steph Curry scored more.
Who had
He
better
shot worse.
stats?
Steph
That's
Curry
not
had
my
the
argument
higher
though.
game share.
That
So
Steph
what I'm
that's
Curry had
saying
not
higher
is,
my
game.
argument.
so hold on. So
That's not my
if you
argument.
just be honest and just say that Steph Curry had the better stat lines, but
Mhm.
Andre Iguodala won the award because of his impact,
Yes,
timely
that's what I'm
shots
saying.
and defense. He didn't have to drop 30, but it was timely shot making and defense that won him the award.
Hmm.
Just like with Joe Dumars, timely shots and defense. Just like with James Worthy, making big shots, right? Just like Magic coming up in
I'm
that big game when Kareem was out. Just like Wes Unseld, he was the third best player on that team, only averaged 9 points a game. But what
mhm.
he did was most impactful. We can go down the list. You don't have to be the highest scoring player, or you have to pack the stat line with stats all across the board to win the
I
Finals MVP. It's about your impact. And when we talk about Scottie Pippen, if you look at his
That's what I
game,
was gonna say.
90% of Scottie Pippen's game is not defined in stats. There was so much that he
but
did,
I'm
like
not
the hockey
arguing that.
assist that ain't counted, like the
I'm not
deflections
arguing
that
that.
weren't counted, like the defense being able to defend one whole side of the floor, like Kobe Bryant noted in his detail videos. He don't get credit for a lot of the things that he did. His ability to guard multiple positions, give Jordan breaks when Jordan was getting in foul trouble, right? So his ability to be versatile like that is what saved the Bulls in that series.
That's
No,
not my no. My thing is with Scotty.
Okay.
It would be one thing if Scotty elevated his game like how Andre Iguodala and Joe
He
Dumars
did
and
elevate his game.
hold on. But Jordan didn't dip. He did not. He elevated his game as well.
Hold on.
So
All I
that
said, Ralph, all I said was
but that's
Scotty
my
had a
thing.
case.
But
I didn't
no,
say Scotty should have clear cut won it. I said Scotty had an argument. Just because you have an argument don't mean I'm saying he should have beat out
I
Jordan.
disagree
Okay,
I
you
mean,
can
you
because
could
disagree
also
because a lot
argue.
of you guys say
because
Jordan won all these awards
I would
because he scored points.
Well, no,
now
but Ralph is saying.
if
Go
you
ahead, Ralph.
said that Jordan wouldn't have won those championships without Scotty, I mean I do agree with that. But to give them the Finals MVP based off of that, no, I don't agree with that because Jordan did not dip
Hold on.
within his production and his
It
impact on the
doesn't. It's
game.
not even about that. It's what I'm saying is
Yes,
okay. First of all, your production. So when we talk about these things like this, your production, the star player's production doesn't have to dip. So you telling me when James Worthy won the Finals MVP, it was because Magic and all those other players production dipped and they just had to give it to Worthy? Are you telling me when Magic
Worthy
won it over Kareem,
Worthy
are you telling
elevated.
me Kareem's production just dipped and they had to give it to Magic?
Well, you talking about 80? No, that, I mean,
Why is so when all of these
Not
other
at 80.
players when all of these other players won the Finals MVP, whose production dipped for them to win it?
No. I'm saying that when you see, like James Worthy, when he won his, he elevated so much to where
But
he
whose production
impacted that.
dipped? You said somebody's production dipped with Scotty.
Well, let me rephrase that. They didn't dip, but they didn't elevate as much as what James Worthy did.
Okay. Who? What did Magic do that series then?
I believe what he averaged like 21. Didn't he like
Magic was
21 and
killing
13,
it.
something like
He
that.
was killing,
Magic
dog.
Johnson had the highest game score, and whoever has the highest game score is usually the Finals MVP. But they gave it to James Worthy.
Did they have
Even though
I'm
Magic
asking
Johnson-
Ralph. Why did they
game.
give it to Worthy?
Yeah.
He won it off of one game, the last game of the series.
Okay. Okay. So the thing is, that last game, if you have a lot of impact, if you change the ties of a series, you can win that award. And if you look to 91, are you telling me that Scottie Pippen did not have such an impact where he stood out like a sore thumb as one of the key indicators as to why they won that series?
He indicated, sure, but he was never the best player in any of those.
And it's
games.
not about the best player.
You don't have to be the best player to
You
get
don't have
Finals
to be the best
MVP.
player to win the
You
award.
do not have to be. Stop saying
He's
that.
proving his point.
Like, you're proving the point, Travis. That's the point.
You're proving his point. You're proving
He
his
was
point.
never the most impactful player.
Okay.
You can't make that argument. What do you
You
think?
definitely
You're
can.
saying-
You definitely can.
He was,
You
he was the
definitely
most
can.
impactful
Just like you can
because
make the argument that Rodman was the most impactful player in '96 when they won the championship.
Thank you.
And Travis, I keep telling you this, dude. There's so many nuances in basketball, and Lamont
I
said it
agree.
multiple times.
But you're
Where like
acting like Mike
this,
wasn't-
this. No, but like, because when you watch that series, because everybody watched that series, it's 91 series. When you watch that series, Scottie Pippen defensive impact was the most impactful thing any player did during that series.
Can I ask Travis this? Travis, who had more impact to help their team winning? Scottie Pippen for the Bulls or Kobe Bryant for the Lakers?
What year?
No,
The
just
three-
period.
The three-peat Lakers. Who had more of an impact? Kobe Bryant for the three-peat Lakers or Scottie Pippen for any of the three-peat Bulls?
I'm going to say Kobe Bryant.
You can't argue that. I'm just glad to give that one to Travis because you can't argue against that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, what's your first of all?
So Pippen here on 20 points per game on 45% shooting and playing great lockdown defense on a crippled James Worthy who was still lining him up.
And Travis, that's why I keep telling you.
James Worthy looked crippled in that series to you? Is that what you saw?
Listen. The reason I asked that
injured?
was because they defended Kobe tooth and nails for being a sidekick, but they refused to accept Scottie Pippen's sidekick.
Who's
power.
refusing to
It's
accept Scottie
That's the
Pippen?
JDR
have people
logic.
out here
That's
arguing
what y'all are
Finals MVP.
doing. All
No.
Oh wait, all Lamont A Sturdy is saying is that Scottie Pippen impact is large enough to be recognized to be a Finals MVP at least once or twice. That's all they said. You sat here and tried to tell us that Kobe Bryant was the reason why the Lakers were making finals because they were able to beat the Spurs, and we can't
You
tell
just said
you
the reason. No, I never said that. I said he was more impactful than Scottie Pippen. That's completely different.
how is he more impactful
I
than Scottie Pippen.
disagree with that, Travis. I ain't gonna lie.
That's
You know what they're going to do? Hey, Johnny, you know what's going to happen? They're going to disregard the first ring of the three-peat Lakers because we forget
Yeah, exactly.
due to Kobe's injury and the fact that Kobe was not a top 5 player at that point in the first championship. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't like Kobe Bryant. He took the next league next year.
That's
So
why-
they're going to exacerbate. They're going to exacerbate and make those two back-to-back championships in 2001 and 2002 so much greater in comparison to the 3 out of the combination for Scottie Pippen, which is going to be this whole disingenuous spiral.
No,
I think if you want to go with the first three-peat, Scotty, I would say Scotty was more impactful than Kobe. But that second three-peat, I'll say Kobe.
That's the right answer. But it's not I don't know what the hell they go try to finesse. But that's my bite. I'll be in assumptions.
We're
What
not
you said,
Kobe
sir?
because he had Shaq.
I'm just trying
That's
to figure
crazy.
out. Listen,
That is
I'm just
crazy.
trying to figure all this out because again, the point is that Kobe Bryant and Scottie Pippen were sidekicks, which is what y'all consider sidekicks. But for some reason, it's not that way for Kobe Bryant. We can diminish all the greatness Scottie Pippen does as far as helping his team win, but we have to acknowledge Kobe Bryant's impact as a sidekick. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand.
It makes sense, hey Johnny. It makes sense because the thing that makes Scotty great is not going to be tracked numerically. That's the thing. People keep forgetting the Bulls. People keep forgetting the Bulls was a defensive dynasty. They were built on defense first.
But who else was averaging 7, 8 rebounds and 6 assists in the 90s, man? Who was doing that?
No.
Who was doing that? Let's be real. Let's be real. Scottie Pippen was doing something that nobody else was doing in the 90s, man. You guys are so used to seeing LeBron James average 7 and 6. Jordan was not averaging throughout the 97 and 6, bro. Stop it.
I'm saying you said Jordan, you said Pippen was doing something that Jordan was doing stuff in the 90s nobody was doing either.
No, Jordan was scoring.
Will had done pretty much everything that Jordan had
I got
already.
A series. I have a series I think that you should know about.
What series is that, Ishmael? Let us know, please.
You're a Heat fan. You should know this. Dwayne Wade come back from the 2006 NBA Finals. On Game 2, he shot an abysmal 31%, 6 for 19. And on Game 3, the very next game, they were down 2-0. Shaq scored 5 points in that game. And the next series, Dwayne Wade shot 14 for 26, a lot of free throws, and scored 42 points, 53%. So from that on, Dwayne Wade had carried the Miami Heat in order to win the NBA Finals. So that's an example of a series of coming back. So
performing well, like you said, performing outside of his normal capacity.
But the thing, the Mavericks is still aimed to stop Shaq.
Man, no, come on, nah, man. He averaged 13.
I don't think you see. You said you ain't paying attention. They were still aimed to stop Shaq.
They were.
See, that's the thing. It's more stats. Stats is not going to. Hold on. Stats well, Ishmael just did. Hold on, because that's the first time someone did that. Stats is not an indicator of gameplay. It's not an indicator of gameplay.
They played a good zone on Shaq. Well, yeah.
But that's a better example.
But come on, man.
Wade had a historical
exactly.
Series. Wade
and that's a way more. And that's a way better
amazing.
example. That's a way better example than the 2001 series against the San Antonio Spurs. Way better example.
Yeah, they came back 2-0. Dirk Nowitzki was cooking all series. I remember one game he missed 2 free throws in the last few minutes or something like that. I forgot. But I just know that they came back.
You remember, then you forgot. You remember, then you forgot. But it's okay.
That's an example. That's an example. Like we're not saying LeBron is the only one to do it, but there's players who had great playoff series and overcame in the playoffs.
And you see how everybody. Oh, go ahead. You want to say something?
Go ahead, Craig.
I forgot my thought because I said go ahead.
you remember, then you forgot. Do you remember?
Yeah, because I was thinking here. And
did anybody mention the last game in '98?
Yeah.
No, because
that's part of it.
Craig did.
No, I count that. I count that.
Craig
was losing that game. They were losing that game.
They were losing that game, and the Bulls dealing with injuries. Like, that's adversity.
See, everybody's right and nobody's wrong. Like, nobody's trying to discount. See, this is what you're trying to infer. Is like we're saying Pippen's trash. Mike won it all by himself. That's not true. But you're trying to say that because Kobe also had a fantastic player in his team, nothing that he did matters during the first three-peat. Like he wasn't.
I didn't say that either. And that's the whole thing I counted.
The difference. What I was saying that the Spurs losing 4-0 to the Lakers, Kobe did not overcome that. That's all I was saying. They swept the Spurs.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. But going into that series, the Spurs were favored.
No, they bro. When they went 15-1,
Travis, your whole argument was that they had a better regular season record, and that was why that would be overcoming adversity.
And we keep mentioning Travis. Like regular season record has nothing to do with your matchups in the playoffs. Regular season record has nothing to do with your matchups in the playoffs. Regular season record has nothing to do with your matchups in the playoffs.
They say this in boxing all the time. Styles make fights, and that's also the case in the NBA.
Agreed.
Thank you.
But you're talking about.
You say Duncan in 03, he came up.
Like, bro, we literally just seen the Mavericks beat the number 1 seed in the West.
Hold up, y'all. We got Reggie Reg in the building. Let's let Reggie Reg get his word in. Shout out to Reggie Reg. Thank you, sir. If we say LeBron is the GOAT for a couple of weeks, will y'all stop? All of this
Can we talk about some
sturdy
actual
talking
basketball?
about won't change his second place or third place category. I mean, I don't know why y'all get mad that LeBron James performed well in the playoffs, because that's y'all problem. Y'all love to say he doesn't perform well. We have to hear this all the time.
No one says that.
Y'all say he don't have
Greg, you literally just said that LeBron is a loser, bro. Come on now.
No, I said the criteria fit for losers. You gotta be down early in the series. So you're
this type
losing
of question
early.
sets
That's
up
what I said.
slander.
So
You know,
Jordan
it's
never
like-
lost early in the series. Was he able
What
to?
are you saying, Craig? He lost
I would
early.
just, that's
What
why
you mean?
I want
This
to
sets
know.
up
Look,
slander,
you gotta
man.
be
Jordan
down
win-
in the series.
right,
How do
okay.
you be down in the series? You gotta lose.
How
the
many
first
series?
game,
How many
right?
series was Jordan down in, and he overcame them?
What happened?
How
No,
many
that
series
criteria was
that
they're
Jordan
gonna be
was down
in the
in,
series.
and he overcame that
No.
series?
Y'all said the
This sets up
criteria
slander,
is I
man.
gotta be
I'm just
down in the
saying.
series.
No, I just want to make sure
That
because
means you have to lose early in the series to be down. So therefore, you are a loser early in the series.
yeah, but that
But let's
happens.
not pretend
Yeah,
like
you see
Jordan
what I'm
hasn't been
saying?
down in a
Let's
lot of
not
series.
act like Jordan. Jordan does
But
not have
I'm
15
not
titles.
saying that.
He
Y'all
just does not.
saying this. Y'all
Okay,
say this is
so
y'all
Craig,
criteria.
talk about 84 to 90, all the times they were down, and all the times he never was able to overcome.
Well, he never overcome because he didn't win a championship. So
Well,
by
he
that
was-
logic, you don't overcome. You go to the first championship.
No, hold on. See,
By
but see,
that
Craig,
logic.
see the problem with that logic, though,
By
Craig,
that
is that
logic.
no, but Craig, see the problem with that logic is because y'all only like to talk about the 6-0 years. There
I
were
don't
so many.
wanna
There
talk
were
about
so
the
many moments
6-0
from
years.
84 to 90 where Jordan
Because when we
overcame.
talk about the 84,
No, Craig,
90
listen,
is he
Craig, I'm trying to
lost.
help you out. There
He
were so
lost
many
in 84
moments
and
from
90. You don't
84
need
to
to help
90
me
where
out. I
Jordan
don't need your
overcame.
help.
And
I don't
because y'all don't
need
know
your
how to
help.
talk about Jordan's career, y'all don't talk about 84
No,
to
we
90
talk
because you want to
about
run
when
away
we
from the
talk about
playoff loss.
84
We
to
do it all the
90, and the
time.
first thing y'all say is he didn't
I
win.
just want to know why Jordan can't be called a loser when he was down series. He
He
never
was
overcame.
a loser. He was a loser for 6 seasons, 7 seasons. Wait, 9
See,
seasons. He was a loser
You're
for
acting
9
like we've
seasons.
never
Yeah, nine
even
seasons,
said
nine
this.
seasons, 9 seasons.
That's still less than your
This
guy.
type of stuff sets up for slander because then you start talking about, okay, which stats impact winning? The point when it's like, if LeBron's playing good, is it going to impact him to be able to win? Or
I mean,
is
he
it
averaged
when he's
25,
when he's
7, and 7
overcoming
for 4
adversity,
years.
is
He
it
got
going to
1
impact for them
championship,
to
so
win?
No,
That's
I
what
do.
I'm
I do
saying.
agree. I do agree with Craig from this standpoint. Like, and I said this earlier. I think it is too restrictive to just limit to just being down in series to overcome adversity. Even if you're up in the series, you still can face adversity
Right.
during that series.
That's what I was saying. The
Exactly.
criteria for it.
Sturdy.
It's
It
like,
don't
Okay,
matter
that's
how
why I
you
said
slice
LeBron
it.
is a
give us,
It's
loser
still
because
gonna
you
be
give
can't
us,
LeBron.
okay, Ishmael, give us
No, it's
an
still going.
example
It's
of
still going to
someone
be. It's still
being
going to
up.
be LeBron. It's
Hold
still
on,
going to
It's a
be LeBron.
setup question.
wait,
No
I
matter
can't hear
how
you.
you
no,
slice it.
Ishmael, give us
LeBron.
a series that someone was up and had to overcome adversity.
Of course, you can't do that. I'm just
I
talking about.
can't. No,
I'm
Ishmael
just
can't.
talking
I
about
can't.
underdogs. I mean, like, unless they were playing
Sturdy?
terrible
Who?
and they were
Okay,
winning.
I'm gonna give you this year. I'm gonna give
Okay,
you this year. Despite the
Yep.
Nuggets beating the Lakers in 5 games, they were down double digits in every single game.
They
That's
weren't up
overcoming
in a
adversity.
series.
No,
That's not
what you
adversity.
mean?
They
Double
were
digits?
They,
That's
they,
not
they,
overcoming
they didn't have to
They were
overcome
down
the
by
Lakers.
Denver
20.
was up.
They were down by
Hold on.
20 and came
Denver
back
was
to win
up
that
3-0.
game.
Lamont. What you talking about? Denver was up
Okay,
3-0 at
that's a
one
good
point.
point. I see his
And,
point.
and, and every
Yeah,
single game, they were down
Sturdy.
double digits.
But Sturdy.
That's overcoming
But
adversity.
and
But
by the
Sturdy,
end of
that's
the
a
Yeah,
series,
and
those
one of
double
those
digits was
games
gone.
at
that's a
halftime,
team
the
overcoming.
Lakers was
How
up
did
by
what
20.
individual player overcame?
Hold on,
What?
I'm just gonna add this in there
Remember,
real quick
Jamal
I'll
Murray
because
say
was
Jamal. I'll say
playing
Jamal Murray.
terrible
Jamal Murray.
the
No,
whole
going into the
game.
You know
yeah,
what?
Shot
Jamal
above
Murray.
the
Jamal
rim.
New
Murray.
World, New
He
World, New
came
World.
back
Say
To
it
answer
again,
your
New
question
World.
about Jamal Murray. Jamal
Who you
Murray.
got, New World?
go
Who you
ahead,
got,
Newell.
New World?
Oh, no, I just wanted to add in, like, you can't really count that because prior to that series, the Nuggets had beaten the Lakers 8 times in a row. Like that,
Man, that
them
does.
being down, nobody expected the Lakers to win. Even when they were up by 20 points, people were still
It's
talking
not
about how
gonna
the
happen
Lakers were
now.
going to blow that lead
Yeah,
because all throughout this season, all throughout the regular season, the Lakers have done this. They've been having these leads and they're not able to close, not just against Denver. They went through that 3-10 stretch after the bubble, or not after the bubble, excuse me, after the
yeah,
in-season
in
tournament.
season.
And yeah, and after they did that shit, you can kind of see where the Lakers were struggling at, like scoring in the third and fourth quarter. Everybody knew that Denver is a third, fourth quarter team, and they're going to turn it on. So I don't think anybody outside of delusional Laker fans, myself included, thought that the Lakers were going to win more than one game in the series.
No,
Well, you can look at this series
hold on.
now. I mean,
Expectations. Hold on. Expectations do not dictate your adversity. And regular season did not. I keep saying
No.
Yes, it
How many?
does. Yes, it
Wait,
No,
does.
it don't. Expectations do not dictate your adversity. No, it don't.
Sturdy,
Well, I'm
you
gonna
know
say
more
this.
than anybody here, and we all know for those who watch today's NBA, 15 points, 20-point lead is not guaranteed today's NBA. We all know that. We all know
No,
that.
it don't matter, hey John. You still in a hole. You still got to overcome it.
Yeah,
No,
you
that's
can't
a fact.
choose now.
Wait, I'm gonna let Ralph go because Ralph has something to say. But Lamont supposedly has somebody for us because he mentioned the person in the beginning of the conversation and started the
Yeah,
show. So let's
my
let
bad.
Ralph go because Lamont has somebody for us that has overcome a lot during the playoffs. Go ahead, Ralph.
well, I'm gonna say Denver win this game. You could definitely say that because they were down 0-2 going to
Fine,
um
Shaq? Joker,
Going back to Denver, yeah, they lost, or
Joker,
going to
yeah,
Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota.
Especially if Joker has another one of those games like he did in game, what was it, game 4, I believe? He went up for like 40, 10, and 7, something like that.
No, that's game 5. That's game 5.
It was game
So
5?
is it Joker? So
Yeah.
is it Joker who overcame it or Murray who overcame it?
No, you can say both because that's what. No. John, it's not restricted to one person. And I keep saying that it's not restricted to one person.
We're talking about
LeBron never did that either,
individuals.
John.
One person.
Okay.
Lamont,
Murray
you had
was
some.
ass in the
Lamont,
series.
you mentioned somebody earlier in the comments before you came on and got up to the link. Who is the guy that you would say has more overcome than LeBron from the
No,
conversations?
I said he has an argument, but
Uh huh.
you
Tell us.
have to consider the off the court stuff. That's Bill Russell.
Okay.
I mean, because to play basketball at a high level through
His
what he
whole
had to
career
go
is
through,
adversity.
but then
Remember, his race is
B Lee basically said, let's just keep it on the court. If you just keep it on the court, then like I said, this is a setup question. It's built for LeBron to be the answer because I don't care what the criteria is. I know Craig's been wanting the criteria. Don't matter how you slice this criteria. Nobody's been overcome more adversity than LeBron James. This is just something you just got to accept, whether you got Jordan as the GOAT or not. It's just facts. Jordan didn't overcome more. Kareem, Magic, none of these guys overcame more than LeBron, and he has 20 years of this to prove it. It's just a setup question. It's really just to test how honest some of y'all Jordan fans are gonna be. And the fact that y'all fighting against just pure logic, it does. Like I said, this does not mean Jordan's not the GOAT. This is just the argument that's built for LeBron to win. I don't care how you slice the criteria. And you pushing against pure basketball logic when you try to.
No, we're not. We admitted it.
Wait,
Yes, you are.
Lamont, are you saying Brandon
That's
Wait, are you
My
saying
playlist.
Brandon and I are not fair to Michael Jordan fans? We don't
Hell
know
yeah.
the fair
No,
shit?
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
No.
Hell yeah, I'm saying it, Johnny. I've been on this show for 2 years. Yeah, you're damn right.
I knew when he.
But I do want to push back slightly. I do want to push back slightly against what Lamont said, though.
Because it's really just meant to test if you're gonna be honest. That's all.
We
it
are
is.
honest. Lamont, what the
Lamont,
fuck are you talking
Lamont.
about? We said
Hold on.
that
I said
LeBron
Did-
Is your
James
answer
overcome
to this
way more than
question
Michael
LeBron
Jordan.
James?
We said it.
I said 2012 when he had a Finals
No.
MVP as a teammate. I
If
said
you had to say
2000
one player that's number one for this conversation, who's overcome
We-
the most? What's
We
your
already said it was LeBron James.
Okay, all right.
No, it's between.
That means they passed the
I do
test,
think.
Johnny. Hey, Johnny, they
I
passed
do.
the test.
They
No,
did.
Lamont,
Wait, Lamont.
the argument started with Scottie Pippen. That's the whole reason why we even got to this situation is because
it
we were
started with-
trying
it
to
started with
figure out
Kobe.
if Kobe
It started with Kobe.
was.
Yeah, it started
Well,
with
no,
Kobe.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's because we brought up Pippen as he was also the number 2 to Michael Jordan, while Kobe was the number 2 to Shaquille O'Neal. Do we count their moments of overcoming when they have arguably the best player in the league at the time on their team? Like, do we count that? That's where all this even came from. I don't think anybody was trying to discredit that LeBron is like, the king of the playoffs.
Scottie Pippen's biggest fault was that he chose to be a great defender and not a great scorer.
Well, that's not really his fault. Like, he's in the triangle. Like, nobody. If that's what a lot of Jordan fans and Kobe fans don't understand. Like, when you're running that triangle system, there's nobody that's going to score more points than Kobe and Michael Jordan. So, trying to knock their teammates for not scoring as much or not averaging 20 points again, that's such a dumb argument, especially when you compare Scottie Pippen and Kobe Bryant as a number 2. Scottie Pippen was more of a defensive juggernaut. And Kobe was that dude that you would go to get those extra shots when Shaquille O'Neal is getting double teamed by that zone. So
world.
Pippen played
If-
17
but
seasons
hold
in
on.
the
But
NBA
if
and
you
10 with Jordan. He
but if
had
you
7 seasons without Jordan.
but
Please
if
don't
you
give me that. It's
if
the
you
triangle.
truly hold on, Craig. But his 7 seasons without Jordan came at the end of his career when he was dealing with horrendous
except
back
for
injuries.
one,
in his
except for
career?
1.5.
94 was the
Except
end of his career.
So
See, I always do that. He
So-
had time to prove that he could do this scoring without Jordan. He
hold
scored
on,
one
hold on,
more
hold on.
point.
First of all, Craig,
Is
he
it
didn't
just
have
about
to
scoring?
First of all, only thing he did when he went to Houston was still be the same great type. He don't have to change
Who's
his game
fault?
just
That's
to say,
Jordan's fault.
no, hold on. First of all, you see what y'all want Scottie Pippen to do is to go somewhere and score a whole bunch of points so he can say, "Oh yeah,
Because
look, I
y'all
can
say
score."
that he was-
Scottie Pippen's game
Jordan was
wasn't built in
a
scoring.
ball.
His greatness wasn't built in scoring. His greatness was built in being a team player and a great defender and a guy that brings everything
So
together.
stop saying Jordan.
Well, I'm not
taking
gonna
all
lie.
the-
I'm not gonna lie,
But,
Lamont. I've heard to where the only reason why Scotty couldn't score is because
My
Jordan
bad,
was
guys.
shooting a lot of
no,
shots.
No,
but
heard
it's still,
that.
it's still, no, it's what New World said though. Y'all, this is what Jordan, dog. Scottie
That's why Craig.
Pippen,
No, I'm just
Scottie
saying that's
Pippen.
the reason
No,
why
no,
Craig is responding the way
no,
he is.
Craig, no. That's a horrible response because in the
How's that a
triangle
horrible
offense,
response?
I'm about to say it. I'm about to say it right now because in the triangle offense, he didn't need to score 30
Yes,
some odd points for them
it
to.
has
Wait,
nothing
hold
to
on.
do with
I'm about to explain it. No,
has
no, no, no.
nothing to do with the
I'm about
triangle.
to transition.
They had
No, I'm
It
about
has
to transition.
nothing to do with the
No,
triangle. It has
no,
nothing
because
to do
the most no, it's more than that because people forget Scottie Pippen led that team in all 5 statistical categories that year. That's the reason why they were successful. So what Lamar's alluding to is y'all keep trying to do this thing of restrict Scottie Pippen by a certain skill. Was that not what made him great regardless?
No,
What brought Scottie Pippen, what made Scottie Pippen a Hall of Fame, what made Scottie Pippen a legend,
30.
was his versatility in defense.
The answer is very simple. Scottie Pippen, if you look at the volume, if you look at, hold on, listen to what I'm saying, Craig, because this might be above your pay grade, what I'm about to tell you. Scottie Pippen's volume of scoring in that particular era with the illegal defense, right? Why did Rod Thorne say that they got rid of the illegal defense? Because he said teams were abusing it. Teams like the Utah Jazz and San Antonio Spurs and Chicago Bulls, what they were doing was they would just ISO their best player on one side of the floor, slow the game down to a bore, and one player would get all the glory while everybody else really kind of just stood around and got the leftovers. Scottie Pippen's scoring was significantly decreased based on the style of play with illegal defense. What we saw with hold on, Craig. What we saw with listen, hold on, Craig. What we saw with Kobe Bryant. Okay, hold on, Craig. So what we saw with Kobe Bryant in the 2000s when they got rid of illegal defense was we saw Phil Jackson and that assistant coach of his really getting to their bag with the triangle because now they wasn't handcuffed with the illegal defense. They can get more creative. Teams were going in the zones. They could attack differently, even though they were trying to double on Shaq, right? With the zones, they could do different things. So it opened the door up because there's no illegal defense. They don't have to play one style. I believe that if Pippen had his prime in the 2000s, we would have saw Scottie Pippen that could have averaged 25 points per game.
But that's the problem is this y'all. You guys act like Scottie Pippen averaging 19 points per game during the 90s is bad. It's not.
Nope.
It's
and y'all act like
because of pace.
Is bad.
Because the pace of play is.
Was great.
No, you guys are the one. Wait, you guys are the one who always mentioned.
Y'all say Jordan is a ball hog. That's why Scottie couldn't score.
Who said Jordan was a ball hog? Who said that? Craig, who said that here?
Everybody says it here.
Nobody says
go
that.
look on their group.
I say that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when Jordan is taking 25 shots per when Jordan is taking 25 shots per game.
That's why.
I'm gonna explain. When Jordan is the only player taking 25 shots per game, how many shots do you think Scottie Pippen will get?
The same in '94.
No. False.
Wait, Craig, come on.
He did it.
No, he didn't. He averaged 2.5 more shots per game in '94 than he did outside of those years.
And what did he average? What is
22 points per game, which is 3 more points.
And he averaged. No. He only averaged 21.
He took 2 to 3 more shots, and he only scored.
1 more point.
He averaged one more basket. It doesn't matter. He's averaging 22 in an era when the best players are averaging 22 points per game. You act like there's a bunch of guys
The best player was averaging 30.
There is not, again, the best player was taking 25 shots
Jordan
per
wasn't
game.
in the league.
Scottie
Jordan
Pippen
wasn't in
takes
the league.
25 shots per
Jordan
game.
wasn't in the
He's
league.
averaging 30.
45% shooting.
If Patrick Ewing takes 25 shots per game, he's averaging 30. If Reggie Miller's taking 25 shots per game, he's averaging 30. Jordan's not doing nothing special but shooting the ball more.
They did it. They did it.
No,
Because they are not ball hogs. They don't have 20 grand on tonight's they do not have 20 grand on tonight's game because I'm going to score 40 points. That's what they didn't have. They didn't have a gambling addiction and they were betting that I was going to score 40 tonight. But that's the facts.
No,
here we go.
No, but no, it's simply this. Jordan fans, Jordan fans do this a lot.
Disrespect everybody but Michael Jordan. But once I say some real shit about Michael, it's hey, Johnny's tripping. The nigga didn't gamble and say he was gonna score 40 points and win by 20.
And they won.
Did he do that? Did he do it? Did he do it?
Yeah. And they won.
Okay then. So Michael Jordan wasn't scoring 40 points because he was better than Reggie Miller. He was scoring 40 points because he wanted 20 grand in his fucking pocket.
Can't Pippen do that?
Well, Craig.
Pippen doesn't have a gambling addiction. He has a championship addiction.
But Craig, what you're doing once again, it's a common thing what Jordan fans do. They try to be like, no, I'm literally about to. No, but hold on. That's.
Jordan was taking all the shots. Jordan.
No, Craig. It's this simple. Because he's not like Jordan, he's not going to impact the game like Jordan. Period. So what I'm trying to allude to you. What made Scotty great, with or without Jordan, was his versatility, was the fact that he was a willing passer, a great playmaker. So I'm not going to hold on, Craig. I just want to land it right here. I'm not going to discredit, because and that's substitute argument because of this. I'm not going to discredit Scottie Pippen because hold on. Him recognizing his teammates like Horace Grant, like BG Armstrong got better with the additions of Tony Kukoc. I'm less likely because there's more offensive scoring options. I'm less likely to put up those attempts because that's not my game. So to answer your question, Craig, he's not going to average 30 because that's not his game.
So what is the point? So what is the point of complaining about Jordan being the shooter?
Because Jordan's 30 points per game is not why they win. That's why. Jordan's 30 points per game is not why the Chicago Bulls wins. That's the fact.
And we already
that is true. And I keep telling y'all this. The Bulls were a defensive dynasty. It was built on defense first, dog.
I don't care what you tell me. If you take away 5 shots per game, listen, if you take away 5 shots per game from Michael Jordan's career and he's only taking 20 shots per game, the Chicago Bulls still win championships because they can score with other players. They had players who were more than efficient than him.
25 shots away in 94. What did that do for them? Please show me when they took 25 shots away.
It took them further than Jordan. It took them further than Michael Jordan's 37 points per game in 87. That's what it did. That's what it did. That's what it did. Jordan had Scottie Pippen in 89.
Craig, I have a question. Craig. Why do Pippen have to win without Jordan, but Jordan don't have to win without Pippen?
Because y'all said Pippen is the main reason why. I said Jordan. I just said
I don't
Jordan.
agree with that. I never say that. Craig, you said, Craig, gang, man, you fell for that, man. You shouldn't even answer that.
Why?
Why? I want to question Johnny. What time? Like every single
has
week.
Nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm saying Pippen. Y'all saying Jordan is the reason why Pippen couldn't average 25. I'm saying he had a season in his prime without Jordan, and he couldn't average 25.
No, we're telling you, Scottie Pippen. We're telling you, Scottie Pippen's impact has nothing to do with averaging 25 points or not. He don't have to average 25 points or not. That's the whole point. You don't have to average 25 to be impactful in the 90s.
Well, we know that they needed Jordan's 30 to win the championship.
Why do Scottie Pippen have to win without?
And that's not true either. That's not true.
So
I never said my whole stance is not him about winning. I said
you keep saying he didn't take him farther in '94. You keep saying he didn't take him farther in '94. So why?
They were literally a bad call away from winning. So I mean, I don't understand why you saying
that was only in Game 5. They still had a chance to win.
It don't matter. They still could have won. Like that's the fact.
We could
Yeah,
have.
if
It
They
don't
still had other
matter.
games to go forward, though. I mean, it
Scotty-
wasn't. That's
But
not
No,
the
but
end
I
of the
hear
be
this
all. They
narrative
could have still
all the
won.
time.
In the league.
I hear
Scotty,
this narrative
Like
all the
even if they
time.
won
Why
that
did
game,
Michael
we
Jordan
wouldn't have
have to
known that they
win?
would have still lost.
because he
Yeah.
won, he had a
Why do
championship
But they had
team
other games
in
to play.
'94. The
why?
only
No, they
person left.
didn't. No, they
The only
didn't.
person
No, they
left
did
was
not.
Jordan.
No, they
Why you
didn't.
say that?
Because
They
no,
didn't.
from my understanding, the Bulls are a championship team because of 30 points per game. They didn't have 30 points per game in '94, so they were
It's
not a
part of it.
championship team.
From your
It's
standing,
part of it. I
55
won't say
games
it's the
without
end all
Michael
be all,
Jordan.
but it is a part of it.
No, this is the problem. Us LeBron fans, we say LeBron wins when he has teams. We never say otherwise. When he was 1-on-5, he didn't win a championship. But when he had a team, he was able to win a championship. And that's the same thing with Michael Jordan. Jordan wins when he has a team.
But the difference is when Jordan
It's
had a
literally
team and LeBron
questions
had a
what
team,
LeBron
one
did
didn't
to
lose and
overcome.
one did.
Jordan lost with a team as well.
Nah,
Jordan
we
lost with a
cut
team
that.
as well.
Is that an answer?
95.
Can
95.
someone answer that
89,
question?
90.
Can we answer that
90
question?
90
Why
was
did
a team.
Pippen have to win without Jordan?
Because
I
y'all
just don't
said-
understand this narrative.
Yeah.
Because Pippen had his championship team when Jordan
I say
retired.
90.
Y'all said
No, he
Pippen. Y'all
didn't.
said Jordan 30 points
Who
per
said
game
that?
didn't matter. That's
Who
why.
said that?
The Bulls could have won a
If
title in
Jordan didn't
'94,
matter, then Pippen should have
but
won without
still.
him. If Jordan
still.
didn't matter, he should have won without him. That's all I'm
Brandon, quick question.
So if Pippen did matter, he should have won without Pippen too as well.
saying. I never said Pippen didn't matter. I'm going by what you're saying about Jordan being the reason
No,
why.
but you keep saying that Scottie Pippen should have won and he should have won a title in '94.
That has nothing to
Are
do
you
with
gonna keep
Pippen
repeating
scoring more
yourself? I
points. Like him
literally
winning
said-
has nothing to do with that shit. Like why are you going around in circles with Craig? Like it makes no sense. If the
It
man
makes
was going
sense.
to average 25 points per game, he would have did it. But it's not that he couldn't do it. It's because he's in a system run by Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is the one that decides how many
is not
shots
that
he
type of
gets.
player to average 25 points a game.
Stop
Pippen
being.
doesn't have
Yeah,
that
Stop
type
being
of
the
player.
reason why
Magic
he scored
Johnson's not
20
that type of
couldn't
player.
They're
That's
not
like me
volume
asking.
producers.
That's like
Not that
me
type of player.
asking Kyrie Irving to average 9
So he's
rebounds.
not that type of player. So we
No,
can't.
but Ralph, but most
We can
importantly, I
say
don't know
that
why what
Kyrie
I said.
can
Hold on.
average 9
But why would I
rebounds,
say
but he
why
doesn't.
the key point of this get dismissed? They got better offensive pieces. They literally added Tony Kukoc. They added Steve Kerr. BJ and Horford got better.
That's
He
what I
didn't
was
need
saying.
to.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like he didn't need to. It
Involved.
was a more balanced team.
I think
BJ
they were just as
Horford's
good in
all-star
'93
that
as '94, though.
And you
I'm not
want to
gonna
be
lie.
an all-star? You want to be an NBA
They were
champion?
just as good.
No. They don't. But the point is they got better. They did get better. We do watching. They was scoring better. They were playing better defense. They were just better players.
Yeah, not everybody who wins a title averaged over 25 points
The
a
reason
game.
why they had like 2 or 3 players join the All
Man, the
Star
production didn't
that
change
year
too
was
much.
because Jordan wasn't there taking all the shots. So you got to
There
see
we
the
go.
skill sets of these other players that were just hanging out in the wing. Like
That's the
Lamont was telling
facts.
you
You
earlier.
take away 25
Lamont was
shots per
telling
game,
you
somebody got to
that
shoot
they're-
that.
Exactly. Lamont was telling you that they had
But
everybody
I'm
else
saying that
isolated
shoot
on the wing
25
while their
points,
best
that should've
player
went to Pippen, the
ISOs
way
all
y'all
game.
tell it.
Oh my
The way y'all
God,
tell it, the
bro.
20
I chose all game.
I mean, not all game, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if this man's taking
He
half of
got
the
more players
shots,
involved.
exactly, they're
Yeah.
gonna make more opportunities to get the All-Star selections because people can actually see, oh yeah, these guys can
Hey,
actually
you wanna
score.
be an
Oh, these
all-star
guys
in
can
NBA
actually do
champion.
something. Well,
Jordan
that's
made
part of their
Pippen.
career, bro.
Jordan made them
You get paid
all-stars.
more money by making All-Star selections. Like, there's
The projection
Okay,
Oh,
Craig.
because
Okay, hold on. Craig, you saying that Scottie Pippen not scoring more is the reason he wasn't a champion? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm
Yes.
saying Jordan.
Yes.
I said Jordan made Horace Grant a champion. Pippen made him an all-star. That's what I'm saying.
No, because Pippen was
Oh,
on that
Scottie Pippen
team.
wasn't on that team. Scottie Pippen wasn't on that team.
Scottie
I'm
Jordan
lost.
wasn't on the '94 team when he made the all-star.
But he was on the team in 91, 92, and 93.
Did he
Pippen
make the
was.
all-star? Did he make the all-star?
he couldn't shoot any shots during that time period, man. Come on now.
He was a champion.
Nobody knew
just
how
like
good he
him.
was because he's on the
He was a
team.
champion.
All he's
He didn't
doing
need
is playing
I-
No,
defense.
but Craig,
I don't
but
think
Craig,
it's
you're being disingenuous by separating. Why are you separating? No. Hey, Johnny's trolling you. You're taking it personal.
I'm not saying
Stop. You're separating. For some reason, you're separating the team
I'm not
success.
trolling.
You're separating.
He
Separating.
said he's
Hold
not.
on.
Hold on,
You're
Sturdy. He just said
separating.
he's not trolling. He just
No,
said
no,
he's
but
not trolling. Sturdy.
Ralph, come on.
I am
You
not
know,
trolling.
hey Johnny,
I am
Johnny,
not
No,
trolling.
Sturdy,
Hold
listen.
on.
I gotta understand, Sturdy, listen. He's not trolling because we've said this for 2 years. I've been on the show. I know he's not.
I will defend myself.
Go ahead, do you
Again,
say?
Michael Jordan fans think because Jordan's taking 25 shots per game, somehow the other players are going to be able to shoot the ball and score. now. when the proof is in the pudding,
22.
as soon as you take Jordan's 25 shots per game out, all those guys get better at scoring because they get more shots.
In the 90s, he took 22.
No,
Jordan-
when are we going to be like right above this? We've already proven and told you that that's not what Craig and I feel about. Can we actually talk fucking basketball, not these narratives that we already said we disagree with? You're mentioning these casuals who say he only won because he was 13-37 and they needed Jordan to score 40. We know that's not the case. We know he could have dipped down to fucking 20 or 19 shots a game.
1993, Michael Jordan shot 26 shots per game. In
What's your point?
1993,
What?
my point is, you can't shoot if I'm not the one shooting. I can't score if I'm not the one shooting.
You're in an echo chamber.
Wait.
No one's disagreeing with you.
The fact that you guys keep mentioning Scottie Pippen's averages.
I literally just said Pippen is not a scorer.
Pippen,
but said Pippen
the
couldn't
90s
score
were like
because
the 90s were like
I just told you 19. Wait, I just told you. Wait, I just told you 19 points per game in the 90s is a scorer.
It is good. Yes. You just want us to be mad so you can like.
Nah, you guys were trying to downplay.
Wait. Is Latrell Sprewell a scorer? Wait, is Latrell Sprewell a scorer?
Yes.
That motherfucker averaged 19 points per game in the 90s. Should I continue? Should I fucking continue?
Continue.
Should I fucking continue?
Continue with what?
Does Sprewell have Jordan on his team?
Because guess what? Sprewell's only taking 15 shots per game. That's what you do when you take 15 shots per game. You average around 20 points per game.
Yeah, when the era is the slowest.
Just like Michael Jordan. You give Michael Jordan 15 shots per game, he's averaging 20 points.
And they're losing because no one else on his team could score the way you do.
Lies.
No, that's just volume scoring, man. Anybody can be a volume scorer in the NBA.
No, volume scorer is a person that shoot a lot of attempts.
No, the problem is that Michael Jordan fans think that his scoring is why he wins.
He is a volume scorer. It doesn't matter. He still takes a lot of shots.
No, volume scorer is like
no, it doesn't. No, a volume scorer is somebody who takes a lot of shots. It doesn't matter if you're efficient or not. You're still taking more than 20 shots per game.
You really gonna say
That's
Jordan's not a
volume
volume
scorer.
scorer, bro?
terms.
That is
He's not a volume
basketball
scorer.
terminology. That is volume scoring, bro.
Again, it doesn't matter. Any NBA player taking 23 shots per game will average 30 points per game. It's just that simple.
Who's the better three-point shooter, Steph Curry or Steph?
Again, any player taking 23 shots per game is going to average 30 points per game.
Okay, correct.
Johnny, hey Johnny, I just want to clarify. Johnny, I was saying you was trolling when you mentioned it.
Yeah, but the thing is his 30.
All right, hold on, guys.
impactful
Let me
to
just
other players.
ask Craig this question. Real quick. If Michael Jordan averaged 20 shots a game, do you think the Bulls would have still won 6 titles?
No.
I'm just saying, like, if Michael,
No,
are you saying that Jordan needed to shoot over 20, or if he averaged 20, would they still have won 6
from
titles?
what I'm saying, from what I'm hearing, Scottie Pippen is not a scorer. So if he don't have anyone that can score 30 on his team, what you want him to do?
So you're saying that Jordan needed to shoot over 20 and average 30 points per game, basically?
Yes, that's what they believe.
Okay. All right. That's all I want to know.
believe.
That's all I want to know. Because in '96 that didn't happen, and they beat the Sonics and won the title. But we do have Paul Gold in here.
Did he take the most shots on the team? Did Jordan take the most
So
shots
let's go here and
He
say.
also
Jordan
missed
takes the most
the
shots on the team, yes or no?
in '96.
Oh my
The
fucking
reason
God,
why they
dude.
won is probably it.
This is the
because of
dumbest
Rodman
fucking
getting all the
conversation.
rebounds.
It is.
All right. Let's just move on.
No,
Let's
it's
just move
not.
on.
You guys are
Let's just move on.
perpetuating it by being
Let's
retards.
just move
No,
on.
it's not. No, it's not.
Let's just move on because
This is.
let's just move on.
This is
Let's
stuff
move
we've
on.
rehashed 35 fucking times. And we
Okay,
we
let's
agree.
move on,
Pippen
guys.
was a great
Let's
scorer
move on.
with a pace with a shots per game with only 90 possessions per
I
game.
just
He
want
was a
them
great
to be
scorer.
consistent.
No one's defending it.
Is
The
it
Bulls
because
won.
Jordan was on there.
Correct. The Bulls won because they were great defensively. Jordan could have averaged.
Okay,
Jordan
you
shot it
guys
20 times
think
a
Jordan
game.
needed to score so much. Okay, that's
You're
fine.
talking about
Like,
these outliers who say that Jordan needed to average 50 for them to win. No one's disagreeing with that. No one's disagreeing with any of these takes. You just want us to so you can scream at something. Like, let's talk about actual
I just want
basketball.
them to be
Let's talk about 2
consistent.
game 7s going on tonight.
I don't know. No, I'm
One
looking
minute,
up. I'm looking up stats
Jordan
here.
thought that he couldn't average 25 because he was taking 25 shots. Then the next minute it's because of the system. That's not his game. Which one is it?
Jordan was
say one thing.
Jordan was going to take
It can be
23
both.
shots per
Craig,
game.
it can be both.
Say that. Don't
It
say
can be
that.
both.
Say both. Don't say one and stand on one.
No, because when Phil Jackson told Jordan stop shooting, Jordan didn't stop.
They speak to Jordan about that. What did the results?
We did. And what did Jordan say? What did Jordan say? What did Jordan say?
Him not shooting.
He said he said I did all this by myself, and I was the reason why my team won. I pushed them. I told them.
I heard him say if he didn't have Scottie Pippen, he wouldn't be a 6-time champion. I heard him say that.
So that means the 30 points per game is not why. Scottie Pippen's 19, correct?
It's both the 30 and the 19. That's only 69 points.
I don't know
the
about
Bulls
that.
scored 80 points per game.
I'm looking at NBA players who shot over 25 shots per game. Every last one of them averaged over 30 points per game besides players who played in the 50s and the 60s.
Well, tell Pippen that you should have shot 25 points.
For what?
All right. Come on, guys. Let's just move on from this stupid argument. All right, Paul, go. Do you have anything to chime in on before we move on?
Yo, Killer, you was up here. You ain't say nothing. You don't wait to get on the screen and say some foul shit like that.
What'd he say?
I don't like that sucking dick shit.
What happened? What the hell?
He's up there all quiet. He gonna come in his...
Yeah, he said he talking sexual stuff. Y'all got to stop that sexual connotation nonsense. Okay, I see what he said. Yeah, we're not cool with that, DJ. Y'all already know that's not the stuff that you say to another grown man. Let's let Paul Goat come in because I got folks upset like usual. That's what I do best. So let's go ahead, Paul. What you got to say in this conversation, brother?
Well, I mean, I want to say in the first 3 years of Michael Jordan's career, okay, he has a teammate, okay, that I believe nobody knows, okay, but people have forgot this, but he has a teammate in his first 3 years, and in a playoff series, he averaged 20 points per game, and he was Orlando Woodridge, I believe he was.
Yes. Yeah, you're correct. Orlando Woodridge was a 20-point per game scorer. Jordan had double-digit rebounders, so Jordan did have help in the 80s as well, yes.
Yes, yeah, he had it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the topic? We were talking about playoff struggles and overcoming them. Do you have anything for any players?
I mean, overcoming.
Yeah, we were talking about overcoming playoffs. Yeah.
I mean, I will say Will Chamberlain in 1968, I believe it was, or 1967, you know, when the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Celtics. I mean, I believe that was a great overcome. I also believe the St. Louis Hawks, when they had Bob Pettit and they beat the Boston Celtics in the finals, that was a great overcome because the Boston Celtics won 11 championships in 13 years. So that two teams beat them, that is actually an amazing accomplishment.
That was actually a good one. The 60s, I think you're talking about the 67 Wilt Chamberlain team who had I think he averaged a triple double against the Boston Celtics that series.
He averaged like 20 and 20 and 10, something like that.
I think you're correct. Yes, and that was actually a good one. That's actually a good one. We were hoping somebody could bring up something from the 60s. That was actually a good one. Thank you for that one. And you said the Bob Pettit Hawks in 58.
Yeah, 58. Yeah.
We barely recognize the 50s over here. But that's still a good one because they did have to overcome a great Celtics team. Although
they wasn't great at that time.
Yeah, but Bill Russell was hurt.
Overcoming that series. That was going to be my question.
Bill Russell got hurt that series, so that's hard.
Yeah, the Hawks series, the Hawks got him, and they won 8 straight.
He was. He did have a great series. He did actually have a great series. You are correct about that. So,
Bob Pettit still was frying his ass when he played.
See, look. Remember, they brought up Boobie Gibson. They brought up LeBron James fan. As soon as somebody brought up Orlando Woodridge, in the comments, Orlando was suspended for drug use. Yeah, because Jordan snitched on him.
That's the troll.
Nah, it was a 20-point score.
Yeah, that's the troll to me.
Really...
When I talk basketball, I don't troll. I expose. That's what I do best.
Hell no.
That's what I do best. Because y'all gotta start being real.
So Pro Troll needs he wants you guys to do better as a Jordan fan.
He wants you guys to do better. Send him a link.
They cowards. They cowards. This is why we appreciate Ralph.
I hate
This is
when
why
they say we
appreciate
can come
Craig.
on the show. What the fuck?
They don't want to come
It's
on the
free.
show. Travis, exactly. No, it's not free because we get paid off of everything that
You
they
know
say.
what
We
I
keep
mean,
telling y'all.
nigga?
We get paid off of everything Michael Jordan fans say. They know that. That's why
right.
they stay safe in the
He
comments.
feed everybody. He frees the world, nigga. You put
Well, look,
LeBron don't feed you.
Bring up my graphs so we can. I'll tell you what. if y'all gonna make Jordan a billionaire, y'all need to just make me and Brandon just a millionaire. Just help us out. Just make us a millionaires. We just want to be millionaires. We don't even want to be a billionaire. But Ralph, the playoff riser is GOAT James Kingdom, and it is GOAT James in general. This is why we say he overcame so much. He's number 1 in points. He's top 5 in rebounds. He's second in assists. He has the most steals. He's top 10 in blocks. He's top 2 in finals appearances. He's been to 17 different playoffs. I think that's top 5 in NBA history as well. He has 4 championships. If we count the players that led their team to championships, he's top 5. If we count the finals MVPs, he's second all time. He has the most playoff wins, the most playoff series wins, the most playoff sweeps. And we didn't use none
All
of the
these
sweeps.
wins just came when he was down in the series? By your criteria?
He also got the losses too now.
Yeah, he does. He does have the most.
And he also has the most defensive rebounds all time. He has the most defensive rebounds all time.
He has the most defensive rebounds of all time. But
he got both losses too.
But wait.
Hey, Johnny,
y'all like to do the averages. Even in the averages, if we look at the averages, the man is averaging 28, 9, 7, 1.5 a block. Just dominating.
Hey Johnny, I got a lot because since I started this list, like I don't know, I remember I posted in the Facebook group. I have a lot. It's a lot of records that LeBron James has. Like it's just
too much.
It's
to
crazy.
Put on one paper. Too much to put on one paper.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I may need 2 papers, like 2 to 3 pages. And Jordan has a lot too. If you really think about it, like if you look at everything objectively when it comes to statistical records between both players, they have a lot. But you know, LeBron is really trumping Jordan. If you look at it objectively, if you include everything, it's a lot. Like I'm talking about even like the most. I think he has the most 5 assists per game averages in the playoffs. Or no, the most 5 assists games in the playoffs. Most 5 assists per game playoff averages. Like stuff like that is also included in records. Or the most 20 points per game postseasons, the most 25 points per game postseasons. Stuff like that.
He has the most 30 points.
Yeah, the most 30-point games. And see, that's different. The most 30-point games in the regular season, postseason. He has the most 40-point games in a single postseason. Like it's ridiculous. You got to include everything, and it's like including. He's like Trump. I'm just saying he might. Yeah, he might have.
Mind you, see, look,
every
what
time he
Ishmael
scores
said.
a point is a record. Every time he scores
I include a lot of things with Jordan too.
Regardless of regular season or playoffs.
No, but that's what I was going to say, Ishmael. Because remember, they mentioned that the fact that Jordan does have the record for the most 40-point games average in the series, right?
Yeah, in the series, right.
We also know that Wilt Chamberlain was also known for having the most records for a very long time. There was I think it was still 72. He still holds 72 records that he's held since 60 years ago, right? So we know that these are things that people use for their greatness, but now you mentioning it is too much.
More than that,
yeah, it's like because when
I think he has more than 72, Ralph, but I think it's 70.
So he got more than 72.
I
challenge anyone to.
No, wait. Hold on. In my list, when it comes to Wilt Chamberlain, see, I wrote a list for Wilt Chamberlain too. See, like I didn't include things like the most consecutive 60-point games or something like that. Like I didn't include stuff like that.
That's records, though. Hey, if you go,
I mean, he's the only one to do it
now.
No, because LeBron James does stuff like that too. Like LeBron has the youngest to reach 2,000 points and stuff. It's like, come on, man. It's like, are we going to really?
That's what I'm saying. These are all records. These are all records. But Wilt Chamberlain has a lot of records too.
Chamberlain got 1,000
record for double-doubles.
Yeah, like I mean, like, and then if we use like combined stats, like if we use like that's just doing I feel like that's a little. That's
you
a
gotta
little
count
bit,
everything.
Okay, Ishmael, what do you consider a record? What do you consider a record?
I use single game stats, unless it's like
Single game stats.
Yeah, I've been using mostly single game stats, unless it's like, oh, he led the most in totals in a triple double. That's different. Like, but when we're talking about, oh, LeBron has the most 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in the playoffs or something like that. It's like, I feel like that's just a little bit doing too much, in my opinion. I had an explanation for it, but it's like, because if we do all that, then of course, then it's like, yeah, because that's what they're doing for Wilt. They're not doing single game stats. They're doing combinations of things. They're including consecutive records. Like, it's not. That's what I'm saying. So I'm using single game stats, or unless it's like a triple
Where's
double.
your top 10 list that we talked about? I gotta see this.
But that's a record, right? Like Wilt Chamberlain having.
So Ishmael, I have a question. So is 40 points, 40,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 10,000 rebounds? Would you consider that a record, or just a milestone?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I'm saying. It's difficult because I'm trying to be objective as possible. Because it's like, oh, somebody's gonna come and find out, oh, he has a combined stat of this. It's like, really? Are you serious? Like, what? Like, are you serious? I mean, yeah, LeBron is the first to have a triple double in stats. So it kind of is a yes or no to that. But it's like, when we consider like a record, like oh, LeBron's the youngest to reach 2,000 points. It's like, are we going to really fault for someone coming into the league at 22 years old who didn't get the opportunity to do that? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's not, it feels like that's not objective on that point. Or Michael Jordan, he scored the most points at 40 years old.
I also have to say, you have to like kind of have to put into perspective that LeBron had the skill to go into the NBA at 18
Yeah, see,
years
that's
old.
what I'm saying. That I feel like that's like, of course, by that time, if we include all that, LeBron will have like 100 records.
So it's the fastest to get 1,000 points a record, or that's just a milestone?
No, I didn't include that because I know LeBron. I know Michael Jordan got something like that, like the fastest to reach 31 and 32,000 points. I didn't include stuff the fastest because it's like, what, really? It's like some of the stuff that they got on here is kind of like absurd to me, and so yeah, so that's why I didn't include some of the things. But I'm just trying to. Yeah,
40,000 points is not a record. It's just the scoring title.
Of course, it is a record. Yeah, that is definitely a record.
That's not a game. That's not a game.
LeBron is the fastest to 39,000 points.
Bro, of course. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to include that? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, or the fastest.
So wait, the most in-season tournament MVPs don't count?
Oh man, come on, quit playing with me, bro.
Come on, man.
I didn't. I didn't even include media awards.
What about the most player of the month?
I didn't include media.
What about the most player of the month? Do you think that's a record?
There's a record.
I didn't include any. Listen, in my list, I didn't include media awards. I didn't include combined stats. I didn't include consecutive stats. The fastest to do this, the youngest, the oldest, and LeBron has over 40 records.
So you did game?
Game
highs, just game highs.
No, it sounds like you picked records that he believes. No. It sounds like he did records that's applicable to everybody. That was
yes. Exactly. Thank you, Sturdy.
Players of the month is it applicable to everybody? Youngest to this thing, because there were stages in the league where you couldn't get drafted out of high school.
And then it's like,
I get it.
I got a question. So how about the most seasons averaging 30 or the most seasons averaging 25?
Yes. I included stuff like that. The most seasons averaging 30. The most seasons averaging 5 rebounds. The most seasons averaging 5 assists per game.
5 rebounds.
Yes. Include all that. Hell yeah.
But what stat isn't applicable to anybody? So what can LeBron do that can nobody else do?
No, I'm not saying stat. I'm saying records. I'm saying records. Like, for example.
Okay, what record can LeBron have that nobody else could have?
For example, players on the month. No, the answer like Dolph, like players of the month. Players of the month wasn't applicable to everybody throughout NBA history. If Bill Russell couldn't get players of the month, you know what I'm saying?
So defensive player of the years don't count.
Right? So
same thing. That's what I think Ishmael was saying. I think he only counted records that's applicable.
I excluded all media awards as well because media awards tend to have some type of biasness in errors as well.
And that's so you trying to make a top 10 list?
Well, the thing is that
I'm gonna have to see about that. Yeah,
well, he was saying about
awards, one media awards at first.
Yeah, like of course LeBron has the most All NBAs. The most that like see look, LeBron has 2 records in awards itself. The most All NBAs in total and the most All NBA first teams.
First
But
team.
yeah, so that's like 2 awards in itself.
They only got All Stars right now too.
Yes, those are honors. The most All-Star awards. Yeah, of course. When it comes to media awards, LeBron is going to trump people in terms of like, but I excluded that. And LeBron still has over 40 records that I'm counting right now. I've included the most 500 totals in a postseason. LeBron James got that, right?
Okay.
I included 500 point totals in a postseason. The most I included shit from Michael Jordan that probably people have never heard in their life. Like
give him one.
The most points in a 6-game series in the finals goes to Michael Jordan. The most field goals made in a game series goes to Michael Jordan. I'm not biased here. Like I'm trying to include an objective list as much as possible.
How objective is you went to 6-game series? You said a 6-game series.
Yes, because people have the chance to pick. Because a lot of people have it.
So LeBron can't be the youngest at everything, but you're gonna give Jordan 6-game series records.
All right. Well, no. Listen. I am not trying to like. If anybody wants to criticize anything what I put in my list, I'm up for it. I'm up for a debate. I'm open for discussion about it. If you think that is bias and I need to exclude that, then that's fine. You know, I don't have no point in it. I even put Michael Jordan has the most points in a half of the NBA Finals. Michael Jordan most 40-point games for a playoff series. Michael Jordan most 40 points per game playoffs. Yeah, I have that already. Let's see. Michael Jordan has the most 40 points.
Y'all writing this down, Travis and Pat? Y'all might need this later on.
Yeah,
they definitely get something down. I promise they are. I promise.
Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan led the postseason. He led the postseason the most, like out of everybody in scoring. So LeBron led it several times. Like, okay, there's two. Yeah.
Tell me why Michael Jordan not using any of that stuff that doesn't matter at all. Tell me exactly why Michael Jordan's a top 3 player, not even using any accolades. Go ahead.
Well, it's not an accolade; it's a statistical record. And so Michael Jordan. And so Michael Jordan probably has the top 3, top 5, according to this list, most records in the NBA, like near Wilt, LeBron.
Well, the important thing is he has a top 5 peak in prime of all time, just like LeBron.
I don't go by peak. I'm not going to go by peak because the greatest of all time in a list like that is supposed to be the entire career. Most people try to argue, from what all this stuff that I'm analyzing, people use advanced metrics and Jordan could have done this at this rate. They're trying to argue who is better instead of who is greater. And so I'm trying to, yes, there's a difference. There is a difference. You're trying to argue who is better. And so what I'm saying is that no, I'm not trying to. When you want to say Michael Jordan has a better peak than LeBron James, that's fine. I'm not going to try.
He doesn't. He doesn't say that. He doesn't have no peak. We already know this. He doesn't have nothing over LeBron.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm trying to. Yeah, my thing is like in totality of the career, and records have to be a part of it. So that's why I'm doing this, to be objective on it.
It's gonna be hard though, because again, the records are just so many records. Because again, a record is anything that just hasn't been done before. To be honest with you, and there's so many.
Yeah, they do that stuff, and it's
so
like
many things you can.
What you also got to remember though, Ismail, is that careers end all the time for a variety of reasons, some of which are out of players' control. Like
that's the player's fault.
How much longer would Larry Bird and Magic Johnson have played if they could have? Like their totals.
Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We're not gonna. That's their careers, man. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna try to.
That's why totals mean less than like how good you were during your best time.
No, it's not, because the top 10 scorers were efficient scorers, and then they were all pretty well in their primes. So I'm not gonna try to say that.
Not to mention all the top 10s in totals are basically Hall of Famers, and there's a bunch of guys in the top 10.
Yeah, there's some of the greatest
averages
players
that are never going to be Hall of Famers.
Yeah, there's some of the greatest players.
We already discussed this.
I seen your video, so I'm not gonna say it. We can't. Travis. I mean, come on, man. You're using advanced metrics, which a lot of them are flawed. Which a lot of them are flawed. Like, think about it. Like, dude, they change a lot. They change over time, and then the totals they stay for where they are. Like we can't like the
totals are records, man. Totals never
are the
scored the
standard for
standard.
records, not per.
Records are
You know what
records.
I'm saying?
Listen,
Totals are
we don't
great,
wanna
but
take
again,
away-
you can't be if you're just using totals to like use your ranking, then it's completely disingenuous.
No, I'm not. See, like, listen what I'm saying. I included Jordan records, the most 40 points per. Jordan has totals. He has
Yeah,
totals.
really believe Jordan don't have totals. Yeah,
Like
y'all
Jordan
believe
has
Jordan don't have
totals.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
and-
I include. Listen. I included the most scoring titles, which is the accumulation of scoring titles.
See,
listen. I included the most leading the league in total points. So he
cares
led
about
the
that?
league 11 times in total points and led the league in points per game in scoring. So I included totals
more
for
than
Jordan.
anybody. More than
Right.
anybody.
Jordan just
wanna
couldn't keep that up.
top 10.
Jordan just
That's all
couldn't
I
keep it
wanna
up.
see.
That's all. Jordan
Yeah,
just
so,
couldn't keep it up for a
I
long
want to see
period
the
of
top
time.
10 using that criteria.
Yeah,
No,
I
he's what he's saying is he hasn't finished his criteria. He's just giving us a transparency the way he's at.
And it's like when I notice is that people don't use the totality of like greatness. They don't use records. They like when I see these memes like, oh, Jordan. I mean, MJ. I mean, LeBron doesn't have 10 scoring titles. It's like, but that's not the only record. That's a stat record. And it's
Scoring
like, that's
titles
not the
don't mean
only
anything, actually.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. You.
Yeah, you gotta stop saying that. It's not the end all be all, but it definitely means something.
Yeah,
See,
I
Travis
understand.
is the one trolling.
Yeah, I understand.
Travis is the one trolling right
Scoring
now.
titles mean that you shot more than anyone else during a particular season.
Hey,
facts,
Travis, what is more important, 30 points per game or 10 scoring titles?
How efficient were you?
The same.
What?
30
No,
points per game.
Travis.
Yeah, bro.
Come on,
Yeah.
Travis. We already know which one is more impressive for Jordan. We already know who we're talking about. Which one's more impressive?
Wait.
Scoring titles don't mean anything to me.
Hold on, wait. The 10 scoring titles is 49% shooting. The 30 points per game is 52% shooting. Which one's better?
Of
30
those
points per game, obviously.
Oh, so you just said Wilt Chamberlain is better.
I mean, Travis. Jordan also had bad.
Yo, asshole.
Yo, that's it. We got to end the show. We got to end the show.
52%. I'm like, I know exactly what you're doing.
Let's go ahead and get out. Way past.
No,
We
the
almost
reason
at 3
why
hours.
Hey, Johnny, man.
We're done.
We almost
We're
at 3 hours.
Listen,
that doesn't mean anything. The reason
You
why
don't wanna-
no, the reason why scoring titles doesn't mean anything is because you can beat Allen Iverson in 2002 winning scoring titles shooting 39% from the field.
Yeah, but I'm
that's
not
why
gonna
Wilt
take it away
Chamberlain's
from him.
30 points per game at
I'm not-
52% shooting is better than Jordan's 10 scoring titles.
I'm not gonna take it away from him though.
Was
Jordan
he more
still has
efficient
it.
than Jordan? Sure.
Jordan,
Yeah, he was.
I'm not gonna take it away
Of course
from
he
him
was.
because
Who's
Wilt
saying he's
Chamberlain.
not? You're
I'm
saying
saying
that I thought that he
No.
wasn't a more efficient scorer than Jordan, which is not true.
All I'm saying is that I just wanted to see if Wilt Chamberlain's 30 points per game and 52% shooting was better than Jordan's 10 scoring titles and 49% shooting. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to
they're
see.
both top 10 scorers of all time.
No, yeah, it's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
That's until Kevin Durant passes Jordan.
Oh, he's already passed LeBron.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Listen, we're
All
gonna
right,
get up out of
let's
here.
go
I'm gonna
around
stop
the table
trolling.
for
I'm gonna
last
stop trolling.
words.
Yeah, no last words.
Yeah.
You guys been talking too much all night.
You
It's
don't get
done.
no
We're
last
done.
words. I guess John don't want to get y'all any last words, so let's go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, no last words, because we give you guys last words, we'll be talking for another 30 minutes. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys. Travis, Craig, you guys have always been great. We appreciate you. King John as well. Shout out to all the panelists that showed up. Sturdy, Ishmael, Paul the GOAT, Ralph, FYF Sports Debate, DJ Killer, even though you didn't get a chance to speak, New World. Thank you guys again. Everybody in the comments. Y'all know
All
what
our
to do.
members.
Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All the members, Sports Talk only, we see you there. We might have to do that next week. We're going to figure out what's actually more important, 40K points or 10 scoring titles, which is actually more impressive.
Hey, Johnny, you doing that?
Huh?
Oh, that's great news. Yo, y'all just heard it. Hey, Johnny said for the first time only, GJK is going to do a 24-hour stream, y'all, next week. Yo, we appreciate it, Johnny. Like, yeah, we appreciate it, y'all.
Listen,
like,
we're gonna listen. We'll listen. It's been a long show. I'm getting ready to go watch the playoffs. It's about to be Knicks versus the Pacers, Game 7.
You got 30 minutes.
We got 2 games. Hey, I gotta roll up. So listen, y'all enjoy y'all Sunday afternoon. This is the GOAT James Kingdom Show. I'm A. Johnny the Exposer. That is B. Lee, the sports analyst. We do it like none other, and all we do is prove LeBron's the GOAT week in and week out. So thank you guys for joining us. Peace and blessings, y'all. This is GOAT.
See you later.